And it's coming through my speakers again. Will you talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're coming through my headphones, but hey, our music is coming through my thing, so we'll see what happens. Okay. I'm gonna send you the link anyway.
All right. Cool. Hola, hola.
Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. You sound great.
Nice.
Can we hear me? Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Here at sea. Sight and sound. Sight and sound, man. How are we doing tonight? Good?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm just doing the Twitter announcing right now.
Right on. I'm gonna do the same thing. Hey, we're gonna do this live together.
Nice. I'm gonna add some ads.
Hey, united like. Oh, there. Look, I got that one. There we go.
Putting Booseephus in there because he's gonna be on the show tonight with us. Probably joining us in 10 minutes or something.
Yep.
I'm gonna put Record High in there. That's you.
Go.
My Twitter handle is @Jim23Maiden.
That is correct. And my Twitter is @RecordHigh, all one, RecordHigh. And that's it. That's pretty much everywhere. And we are live now.
And we are live.
Yeah. All right, I will be in the chat here in a couple seconds to check in. Let me get you all to this link and get it out. This is the most professional way to do this because we are professionals.
We are so professional that it hurts sometimes.
It does.
Who does it hurt, do you think? Hurts everybody.
Yeah, I mean, does it hurt? It's painful. So painful.
It's super painful. All right, I'm sending the tweet. I'm Twittering that business out.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna pop into the Discord real quick and make an announcement.
There you go.
About that. Let's get that thing. Copy the link. Okay. It's so fun. I love all the things that we can promote ourselves on. All the internet cul-de-sacs of knowledge, I guess.
Right.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. Discord. I'm diving around on my phone right now looking for... Go to announcements. I'll at everybody.
There we go. All right. Let me see here. And then let me get the chat up so we can actually see what people are saying here. And then we are going to be rocking and rolling. I'm going to send this over to our boy Booseephus here. All right. Dead air. This is what everybody is waiting for. And I understand because I love dead air. It smells delightful too.
Dead air.
Know it. Okay.
And paste. Nice. Yep. Okay. Send. Nice.
Professional.
I did it.
There we go. All right, so that should work for Booseephus. See if he can get it. Right. Now, just got to get into the chat so can actually talk to these peoples.
Let's talk to the people.
Wait on that.
I'm going to check the chat from my phone.
Do it. We got somebody Cooper in there.
So where's the chat? There's the chat. What's up, Cooper? Hello,
What up, Cooper.
hello. Oh, there's David Barsky. What's up, Barsky?
What it do?
What it do? Nice.
See if we can get you. Can you send something in the chat there, Jim? In the YouTube chat.
Yeah. How do we all sound, everybody?
There you go. What it do? Yeah, let
Question
everybody
mark.
in the chat or let us know how we sound. Make sure everything's going kosher. Sounds good. Make sure everything's sounding good, guys.
Kosher like a hot dog.
Yeah,
Are hot dogs
Kosher.
kosher?
kosher like Ira.
Kosher Franks.
Frank's. I mean, could be Frank's. Could be Franken.
I know a Franklin.
You know Franklin?
Oh shit! You know Franklin too? Guy gets around, huh?
He does, man. He's a scumbag.
Oh,
His wife came. His wife was over here last night,
Oh,
banging on my
shit.
door, talking about you didn't send him home. You didn't send him home at 7:30. I was like, what? 7:30 a.m. p.m. We don't even know what. Specify. Won't specify, woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't specify, so we don't know what if it was a.m. p.m. She didn't remember herself. So Franklin, if you're out there, go home. Your wife misses you. I don't know if she really misses.
Yeah, Franklin, go home. Your
Go
wife
home,
misses you.
So no worries on Booseephus will be here in just a little bit. He's taking care of business as usual because that's what he does. That's what we do.
You got to take care of business when you got business. I know
True.
that.
So
I like to
You've been-
procrastinate as much as
Speak-
possible.
by the way, our sound is good. That's from Cooper in the chat. We appreciate that, Cooper. Good looking out. So how's your basement coming? How's your week, Jim? How's everybody's? How's your week, buddy? What'd you get done this week?
Well, man, it's been a long week. Seems like I did a lot of stuff and got a lot less done. But, you know, big projects, big dreams. I've got one project here in the room here. If you look along the floor here, the baseboards of the wall, I got a bunch of boards, like hardwoods from pallets. I
Right.
sawed off like a whole bunch of pallets. I sawed off the wood on top because I really like the rustic look, and I'm gonna put them, gonna tack them up on the wall, all over in this room, so it looks like sort of a cabin, sort of deal, you know. In the end, it's
Yeah,
pretty.
it's gonna look good. It's gonna look really good on the wall there.
I think so. I mean, I've only got a little bit so far. As you can see, like 3 rows, or 4 rows, but anyway, it's just hard to find the time. I've been working, it seems like every day for like 9 or 10 hours. So it's just by the time I get home, it's hard to. I've got like 15 minutes of energy in me,
Right.
you know.
And then just to tackle everything around us. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally get it. I didn't mean to hit you with a mean left from behind.
Oh
there.
no, it's cool.
Don't look. How's your week? Yeah, like an idiot. But
You're gonna see it progress as the project will continue as the show goes on. It'll probably be like a little bit more, and then a little bit
Go.
more, and then a little bit more.
you know it. That's how we're rocking it here.
It's how we're rocking it here. How was your week?
It was busy. It was packed. But nothing to really. I mean, I don't have any projects. I need to get some things done around here, but that'll happen at its own time. It's magic, actually. I'm planning on using my my Mickey Mouse Fantasia powers to get all that cleanup and let it get out of hand.
Oh
You know,
yeah, that's the way you do
let
it.
the demons in. Let the demons in. Open the gateway. and
Frickin'
let it
Mickey.
Dude, I'll
Always-
pull my finger out of the damn dike and let them all in, all of them.
Let him in.
Just let them in.
Let him in.
They need to get in. Lower your vibration, everybody. Just lower that vibration. let them all in. So, yeah. So around here, as opposed to I guess last week, right?
We should call all the NPCs brooms from now on.
Wait, what was with your new beautiful MXL 770, which sounds
thank you.
Sounds wonderful, Jim. Seriously.
We should call all of the non-player characters. All the non-player characters, we should call them brooms from now on, because they're like
brooms. That works.
Magic brooms, carrying the buckets. Just
that's perfect.
Mindless.
Brooms. Normies are now brooms.
Normies.
But just to touch on one thing, it's quiet now in my backyard, which would be Kenosha, Wisconsin, this week, thankfully. I mean, who doesn't like a little riot every now and then, right? But, I mean, yeah, it got shut down pretty quick. Yeah, I mean, shockingly quick, actually.
I'm a fan of Pussy Riot.
Back up one from the mic. What'd you say?
Oh, I said I'm a fan of Pussy Riot.
Exactly. We didn't have a Pussy Riot.
But no, I don't think it was a pussy riot.
There was fire. There was fire. I don't believe there's fire in Pussy Riots, but not this Pussy Riot.
Do you think it was the brooms that were rioting?
That's a good question, because I do have confirmation here, and no shit, I got this straight off the scanners. It's amazing what you can get off police scanners. But
man. We
literally got right out here, which, let's see, to my south here, which is to my right. We had they shut down the interstate. They got real clever. They shut down the entire interstate from here, which would be Highway 20. I don't want to give, this is an undisclosed bunker, as everybody knows. No, but seriously, about 3 to 4 miles east of me, or west of me directly, is the interstate, which runs through, Chicago. It runs north and south here, blah, blah, blah. And about 3 miles to the east of me is the lake. So I'm trapped between the lake and the interstate. Everybody help.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, point is my location currently is approximately, I would say, about 10 miles north of the Illinois border, and right south of this county, Racine County, is Kenosha County. Yay. And that's, yeah. So anyway, what they decided to do as a tactic was to shut down all of the interstate, which is the main corridor, obviously, from Chicago to Minneapolis to whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Shut down, at least 8 exits. So all the way from the Illinois border to my exit specifically. Well, anyway, a group of, no joke, 35 to 50 cars, and I heard this on the scanner, 35 to 50 cars, all the same make. This was the one thing. Not the same models, but all the same make. I believe they were Hyundais. Exiting on Highway 20 and then proceeding southbound on Highway 31, which is Green Bay Road, which goes all the way down into Chicago. They decided to get out. They thought they were being real slick. Real clever, getting off on the main drag into Racine, rolling that in, and that's not, no one's going to notice that. I mean, granted, this is 200,000 people in the county, in my county, roughly, and about 175,000 in Kenosha. And then just to the north of here is Milwaukee. So, I mean, go figure, million plus, and then Chicago, just south of the border here. So, I mean, it's been crazy with weird things like that, with which Seattle. I had another thing written down, actually, that I wanted to bring up, which was like some multiple Pacific Northwest known, what would you call them, Jim? Like, not the medics. How they got, like, okay, so we got the protesters and we got the protester groups out there. We got, you got your Black Lives Matter, your actual Black Lives Matter protesters, right? You got your what have you. You got your Antifa. You got your
sex robots.
Right. You got your
sex robots, right? Is that what the word you're looking for?
I'm pretty sure. 99. Yeah. 99% match. We got it. It's in my Retina display here that I got.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you got to get that. Check it out.
You've got sex robots in your Retinal display?
Yeah, it's standard. It's standard with your latest LASIK upgrade.
Oh,
just as I had to. Yeah, just I know.
I've been afraid of LASIK because of the whole like, what could happen to my eye if it doesn't work? Like
precisely.
I've only got like one good eye, The other one like just chills out most of the time.
hear you. I hear you. But hey, this whole retina display, this beautiful heads-up retina display I've got going on right now, I can fly 2 F-35s.
Oh shit!
No hands.
No hands.
Dude, no hands. Look, Mom, straight up. I can't even. Actually, I'm not even supposed to let you guys know that. That's totally.
Is that how you?
My NDA is now violated.
Is that how you move your secret base around?
I hear. It's just what I hear. But no, the funny. Hey, Maris in the chat. How are you?
So is it true that the Barsky base is inside of a deep underground tunneling machine? So like not only is it in an deep underground tunnel, but it's also moving throughout the tunnel system?
Boring, yeah.
A boring machine.
It's
oh
so
shit!
Boring.
I'm sorry.
Zang, dad, pun jokes. That's why.
If it's
that's why six people are here.
If it's that boring, you should have probably helped Elon Musk when he was trying to save those 14 kids that got trapped in that cave.
That's what I hear. They were calling them mole kids. How dare they?
Oh, those were the guys that actually did 9/11. The mole people.
That's what I hear. They were dancing. I just thought they came out of the holes. Look, we are not making fun of the horrors.
The mole
by
people?
The way. I'm disclaiming all the horrors that people talk about when they discuss these sorts of matters with children being run and human trafficking, which is awful. We do not stand for that here at Weaving Spiders. That's gross. We're just making jokes, and we're going to keep making jokes because that's what you're supposed to do.
You're supposed to keep laughing, yeah.
Digital warrior.
What? I'm having
You having some issues here?
operational problems.
Okay, no worries. No worries. We have a special guest joining us here in a couple moments here. And I sent him out the link.
Did you send him the link? You should send him a notice that he got linked.
I sent him the one you sent me. Jim, is that going to work?
Shit.
No?
I didn't say to send him the one I sent you.
Uh-oh. Well, we're going to get him in here because he's awesome.
How do we know where it's even been? I mean, like, I sent it to you, but there's a lot of stuff in there between here and there, you know?
This is true. And we don't want to screw this whole thing up. So I'm wondering if... Oh, we can add... Here we go. Add to call. I think I figured it out, guys.
Oh, nice.
There we go. Greg, no one knows your name. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to my brother Greg in the other room. No, not you, Greg. Okay, so hopefully we'll get our buddy on the line here. Let's call him. See if he picks up. It's all right, Violet Faye. It's okay. We are late with our stream. There's nothing new here. But that will be new within the next couple weeks here, where we do come live at the time that we specify. We're going to be going live because this week we just let it rip, and that's the tendency.
It's their tendons, yeah, for sure. They keep our legs on, and whatnot.
So it looks like we have our pal here.
Nice.
We don't. Hold on, no, we don't. Oops, my bad.
Let's see. It's like their tendons, yeah. Oh no, I gotta turn this down.
Okay, I found the link. All right, I'm gonna send it over. Greg, hopefully this works, buddy. Talking to my brother.
Should we play the intro song when he comes on?
Yeah, like we need to get Ultimate Warrior in intro music. And that was awful nice of James True to send out the.
James True send out?
Yeah, super sweet. If you're in here, if you're in the chat, James,
shout out.
Really, shout out, James. And I got your books today. Finally, I got them.
Oh, yes. Sweet.
I know, guys. It's awesome, and I spell 6 dragons. Hold on, because you know what? Let's give them some. Hold on. Let's let everybody see here.
Oh yeah, grab those books. Grasshopper. Do you have them with you there? I often wonder how the internet works. I imagine that it's like that telephone game that you used to play when you were kids, where like there's like a secret message and you whisper it into the person's ear next to you, and then they whisper it into that person's ear, and then so on, like down the line. And so like when you start out with like, I like to eat beef jerky, and like at the very end it's like car spoon McGillicuddy. Have you ever played that game?
Telephone?
Yeah.
Oh, how I miss it.
It's freaking hilarious. Yeah, I think that's the way the internet works. I think it's probably like trolls or orcs or like some kind of elf, you know, so they can fit in the... Like... Maybe they're sprites.
Could be sprites. It could very well be. It is a good... Vampire raisins. I like that one too. Vampire raisins sounds about right. So, yeah, I got this one, and it just says this is James' first book.
It's in blur. You got to put it in front of your face or something. Pull it back towards you. Yeah, it's still.
Is that all right?
I think the Skype is.
I'll fix it.
Looking for faces and not books.
No, I hear him. I understand Skype. It's all good. I hear you, buddy.
Yeah, it's all. There it is. Nice. Here, let me move myself. There.
Okay.
Spell of Six Dragons. Has it got that new book smell?
Hey, yeah, it does.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that.
It smells like James's house. It smells like squirrel, and I smell
owl,
squirrel.
Baby owls.
Baby owl placenta, and I smell some squirrel. I smell squirrel tree. Yeah, so we got this one, Technology Belief. I don't know if you read this one, haven't you, or no?
I've read them all, but not all of them all the way through. Like I kind of like
Blueprints of Mind Control.
I like to read many books at once.
I'm with you. I actually do as well. It's weird.
It depends on
a lot of people find that crazy, but no, it's like people do that, and they actually do it. They don't just say they do it and then let books sit and collect dust.
Yeah.
And his latest book, I believe this is his latest book, Quantum Rapture. Love the photo on the back. Love James' photo on the back there. Look at that. Brent taking that photo. Credit Brent Scheineman. Good man right there. Brent's a good guy. What's up, everybody? We're live. Weaving Spiders, welcome. Episode number 2. We're still getting our shit together, guys. So don't worry. Or worry. I don't care. It's up to you. I'm not going to worry. Neither is Jim. And I'll speak for right now. But yeah, I'm super excited that I got these books from James, which was super, again, sweet of him to send me. Now I can double check my work and see, because I had obviously read none of his books. I just read a few of his blog posts, but whatever. Point is see how proper my jumping into his world and his lexicon and how his definitions for everything are, there's a learning curve, as you know, Jim. With certain definitions and certain nouns, common nouns being used as adjectives and verbs and blah blah blah. The whole point is I'm pretty sure I got about 90%. I'm not going to say what belt I am because that's just silly here. Oh, he also signed them too. That's sweet of him. Signed each one 2 says.
That's really nice. Great. I love it when you get the signature.
Yeah, I'm a big autograph guy here. No. I think autographs are stupid, but that's just me. But yeah, are you one to? That's a funny thing to actually bring up, because I've always thought it was the tackiest thing in the world to ask for an autograph. Like, I don't know if I grew up going to rock and roll shows and blah blah blah. I think the first rock and roll show I went to, was probably like 14. It might have been. Wait. Yeah, I feel like it was 14, maybe 15. No, 14. Doesn't matter. The point is I remember seeing the Misfits reunion for the first time, probably I think I was 16, so it was like 97, okay? and they were on tour with Megadeth, which was a pretty weird combination, right? For the Misfits to be, yeah, we're back together. By the way, we put out a record. By the way, Danzig's not in the band. By the way, we're on tour with Megadeth. Weird, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I went anyway and paid a bunch of money. I think that was like I got autographs from Jerry Only and Doyle, who were both super sweet guys. But the point is after that, I never asked for an autograph going to see rock and roll shows because I just thought it was the corniest thing. Going up to somebody you're talking to, and I remember having talking to a friend who was in a band that was headlining a tour or what have you, and I remember just talking to him. Kids were just coming up asking for autographs. I remember thinking, this is so embarrassing. Like, I'm just trying to hang out with my friend, and he's just trying to hang out with me, and this is annoying and obnoxious. And it kind of, I didn't say to myself, I'm never going to ask for an autograph again, but it was just one of those moments where you're just like, this is tacky. I'm never going to ask anybody for an autograph. And I remember meeting so many people, I'm not even going to name drop, but people like that would kill for an autograph, and they're just like, how did you not blah, blah, get his, because I don't pick up Post-it notes out of people's kitchens and take it and say, oh, this is so and so's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how tacky it is. Like, cut it out. These people are just people. It's like they're artists, just like you and me, just like anybody else. Like, big deal. Yeah, and that's just, autographs are just gross to me. I just really think they're gross. But unless it's a book like this, like there's nothing. Like, James, you could have at least you could have personalized it, brother. Like, come on. No, I'm just kidding. But it doesn't. No, I'm just saying, like, that's the only way I can really justify or see it. I know all of you guys have been curious. All, 8 to 10. Because I know they're throttling our numbers again this week. Again,
yeah.
Our numbers clearly being throttled. Clearly we have more subscribers than we do. I mean, I can't even believe this isn't. No, but seriously, yeah, it's just I know all of you guys have been wondering what my take is on autographs, and there you have it.
Well, it's funny that you mention autographs actually, because they're so 19th century,
Oh yeah.
Like
what are they gonna do? Yeah, penmanship and cursive. It's a dead art.
Oh yeah. Right? Plus, like, who's got a pen? Everybody's got a phone, and like it's hard. Like, autographs have to be authenticated. Like, because you can forge an autograph.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's harder to forge. You could forge a selfie with a famous person, but like, it's pretty obvious, when you do.
Right.
So like,
I mean, it seems blatantly obvious. Yeah, you'd think.
I would rather have a picture, but when I was a kid, I bought some autographed baseball cards from this card shop.
Remember those days? They
weren't like that much money, but like, it's hard to say. Like, the shop had so many, and I'm like, I wonder, like, if these are all fake. I'd never know. So.
Well, I mean, to the trained eye, I mean, all right, so let's take ourselves back to the days when there were basketball card there were baseball card shops on basketball cards, yeah, right? Okay, so these stores were classic. Like, you always had your stereotypical, like Simpsons have, comic book guy, the baseball card guy, but I mean, he didn't have there wasn't a stereotypical look to that guy, right? Where you could definitely paint a picture of the Simpsons character, but there was like this weird, okay, like, for example, I didn't find out until probably like late high school that my 7th and 8th grade science teacher, what a shout out to Mr. Kenya, Dave Kenya, I know that's your name because he coached baseball. But anyway, he owned a baseball card shop. And had I known that when I was a kid, when I was in 7th and 8th grade, I probably would have been like, so bro, you know what I mean? Like, so did you get this in? But I don't think I was 7th and 8th grade. I was listening to rock and roll, not collecting cards anymore. But the point is that was like a weird time. Like, think about the owners and how much money, like, I remember thinking about that, like, damn, like that Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. That card, do you remember that card? That Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card?
Yeah.
That was the one that was worth, out of all the cards, like, that
I have
was the
like
card
4
you
of
had to
them.
have in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to have that card because that card was worth from jump when the Upper Deck first came out. Upper Deck cards were worth more, like $1.12 more than your average Tops or Fleer pack. So you had to pay the extra for the Upper Deck. Then, if you got lucky, you got the Ken Griffey Jr. That thing was worth like $13, 10 to
Yeah.
$13 from Jump Street when that first Beckett.
I think there was a
Right.
point where it was like $75
Oh,
in the
it was
magazine.
100. It was 89.
Was it?
I remember seeing it $89. Yeah.
Wonder
this
what
was
it's
like,
at now. I'll have to check it out.
Anybody care to speculate in the chat what the 1989 Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck rookie card is worth today in mint condition? Mint condition. Ken Griffey. You know what? Jim is on top of it. And
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Let's see. How do I share the deal? Here we go. Have to go to this and then bear with me, guys. I'm still there. Okay, cool. Can you see?
I'm
Can
actually going to post this
Can you hear me?
in Facebook, the live link here for the show.
Let's see. We'll click on that. Wait, I can't click on the one that's. There we go. I'm not sure if this is translating there. Yeah, it looks like it is. Shop by grade. $80.
It's $80 right now.
$80 new. It says.
Really?
Plus 5 shipping, yeah.
Dude. Okay, so somehow that baseball card has maintained its value after all these years. That's crazy.
I can't
Oops.
really
Okay,
zoom,
so-
can I? Huh.
I am getting this link out.
That's pretty neat.
to-
Oh, there's a better one. Oops.
So we're talking Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards.
Yeah, I probably got one someplace. I've got a whole baseball card collection. When I was a kid, like, I didn't really watch sports. Like, I didn't really like to watch baseball because it's so boring. But I loved collecting the cards, and I like, there's something about like sorting and organizing.
Yeah,
it's like
dude.
so soothing,
Dude, there is something. Yeah, there's a zen. There's like a total like flow state. Like it's like doing the dishes when you got a bunch to do, and you know what I mean, and you can just clear your head and just be like, okay,
Yeah.
and nothing. Yeah, it's a weird, peaceful. Yeah, it's great. I love it, and know exactly what you speak of. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know who watches I mean, okay, so I'll watch baseball every now and then. I can watch. I can handle it. Basketball, on the other hand, like right now, is really tough. And we lost again, dude. We lost the last 2 games in a row. Like, oh, we lost 3 in a row. Dude. We're one more and we're out of the freaking playoffs. That's crazy. Whatever. It doesn't even count. So you were in Chicago when the White Sox won. I remember that. That was like 05, wasn't it, Krista? I worked that. I had to work Lollapalooza, the first Lollapalooza in Chicago, 2005, where Perry Farrell was redoing it, and
Perry
yeah.
Farrell. Ugh.
yeah, whatever. It was fun. And the catering tent was good. I didn't accept pay. It was like, yep, I didn't care. I just was having fun, grabbing bands set lists 10-15 minutes before they were supposed to go on stage and delivering them to the program, one of the room, because it was like the first ever festival. It was 2005. It was the first ever festival that they were live streaming. Like, that's one of the first ever main big events being live streamed. 05. See, that was that's crazy. 15 years ago. Yeah.
So.
And that was my.
Oh, sorry, I didn't interrupt. What were you gonna say?
My job was literally to go for 3 days. For the 3 days was to go 20 minutes before the band was supposed to be on whatever stage they were supposed to be on, knock on their door, the trailer, ask the tour manager or whoever was there, I need a set list, and then run the set list to one of the trailers where my current, well, my ex-wife was working, and she was like the program director or whatever that year for it, or something like that, or program manager, something, whatever. I had to hand it to them so they could upload it to. Some of the bands weren't very cool. I mean, this is like Arcade Fire. Let's see, Billy Idol. Billy Idol was actually a super sweet dude, super nice.
Billy Idol's always seemed kind of cool.
Yeah, man. And it was, everybody was talking about Arcade Fire, Arcade Fire. I'm like, who is this? Like, who are these people? Like, they're really tall. I was like, how do they have 12 members? Like, violinists, blah, blah, blah. I remember it was a great fest. Blonde redhead. I remember being able to see them, and nobody was like, can't wait to see them, because they never played or toured. Spoon, Weaver.
The only Arcade Fire I've ever seen is me on the claw machine, because I'm a madman.
Exactly. Get that hot hand.
Hey.
Oscar 1970 Oscar Gamble rookie card, $540. They don't.
Awesome card.
Do you know that card? You know that card off the top of your head?
Who, me? No.
Oh.
But no, that's a good one to have, I'd say.
I'll say. I mean, that's worth whatever. I wonder what. Okay, so besides the Ken Griffey, and then we'll shut up about this unless you guys demand more. Okay, besides the Ken Griffey Jr. card, what other cards stood out to you as a kid, like memorable, that you can really,
I used to love Jose Canseco.
Oh yeah, good call.
Back in the day, Jose Canseco was pretty kick-ass.
But with his card, okay, let's see if I get this right, because my brain just works in this sorting way. Okay, so 1986 Topps Series 2. Yeah, Series 2, I'm going there.
86.
86 was his rookie card with the black border on the top. I know you know it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because
87
had the wood grain. 87 had the wood grain border.
No, 86 was when I first started collecting cards. Those are my first.
Yep. And the top was
I was a
black.
Cardinals fan.
Okay, so you had there you go. So you had Tony, you had Ozzie Smith on them.
Ozzie Smith, cool. Yeah, he was my favorite back then. And what's his name?
What up, Hanksman? What up, Nate?
The gambler, Pete Rose.
Pete Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, oh man, how is he not in the Hall of Fame? That is still a travesty. I don't understand.
They had to have thrown him under the bus, because there's no way that the oligarchs that own sports teams, there's no way that they don't fix the games. Work out deals first. I mean, not for maybe everything, but
no. And I'll speak from being the significant other for a long time of somebody who's worked in the field. Okay, and also being a fan. I disagree fundamentally with the fact that this is that it's rigged, or it's whatever. This is how it's going to play out. But I will say, every sport obviously is different, right? So there's certain things obviously you can get away with, certain things you just absolutely cannot get away with. Okay. Now with baseball, obviously there's balls and strikes. Any way you can call that, any umpire, obviously there's going to have that frame, whenever you're tuning in these days, that, for the catcher, and, that you can see at home on your screen. And I think we got our buddy joining us here. So basically,
well, yeah, go. Sorry,
no, go ahead. I've got it. I'm sending him a link.
I just forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, about
baseball cards.
Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say, but I mean, I think it was about rigged games. Oh yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, if you say, what do you think of when you hear the word umpire, and a lot of people say a blind guy or somebody making ridiculously bad calls, and right. a lot of times people are just confused because the call doesn't make any sense, and everybody saw it the way that it really was, and why'd they call it that way? Maybe it's because they had to, because they had an agenda of the point spread or
right. Oh yeah, that's a big deal.
wherever the
when
game
you look
was
at the
going to be
books, right? When we're looking at the books and we're looking at these sorts of things, yeah, you can obviously, or an extra foul call at the end of an NBA game, right? Or this, that, and the other. So that's going to put such and so on the line to add to the spread or take away from the spread or whatever the over/under may be. There's a million things clearly that can be played out here. But yeah, I honestly think that having seen the ins and outs from the ins and outs perspective, and I don't mean to sound whatever, but yeah, I have, like, behind the scenes. Yes, I've been in the truck, that broadcast truck, for audio, for Fox Sports Wisconsin, for ESPN, for all these things. Yes, it's. I honestly can't say if it's unless it's like a national bigger game. I can't see what the point of rigging, fixing, hoaxing, any professional sporting event could pay off. What the point of it would really be, back, especially with the way technology is today and with everything, being so instantaneous. But remember Tim Donaghy, if you'll recall, I believe it was like he got popped. He was one of the refs in the NBA who got busted for, fixing some. He didn't really fix games. He just, like I said, padded points. Mess with things in the playoffs a little bit, which, yeah, that screws things up. But I think anytime you have a commissioner like David Stern, you're really gonna you're gonna have some shiesty shit going on, because David Stern, in my opinion, was a terrible, crooked as a barrel of snakes owner, or not owner, but commissioner. But that's neither here nor there, because this isn't a sports show, and I apologize for going on a sports rant. But I played sports my whole life, you guys, and yeah. I like sports. Sorry. That makes me a nerd. Or it doesn't really make me anything. But it's, yeah. I played competitive sports, and I think playing competitive sports teaches you a ton of life lessons that you cannot get. You can't get it anywhere else. So I recommend, if you have kids, seriously, yeah, put them in while you still can. Any kind of organized anything. It's fun. Organized sports, whatever. It's fun to fight for, just competition. Learn how to win, learn how to lose, the right way, I guess. But yeah.
Shoot, what did I do?
Hey,
here?
Doesn't John Levi sound exactly like John Malkovich? Who's John Levi, guys? I don't know who that is. And Booseephus, I think you're in. Are you in?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear him, Jim?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Beautiful. Everybody in the chat, can you hear them?
Okay.
Can you hear her?
Cool. I didn't know if you could see me, but
yeah, you should be able to. But
we got your background. Everybody, that's Booseephus.
Yeah.
What
we'll
up?
let him announce himself.
Let me get back to it. I can't
Okay.
get this darn thing to.
Sound like I just jumped in on some hot topic.
No, we were literally just discussing. And I don't know if you'll remember this. The Ken Griffey Jr. 1989 Upper Deck baseball card, rookie card that was worth more than all the other cards. That was like the one card. I'm 39. I don't know. How old are you?
I'm 38.
38. So we're in the same. Yeah. Okay. So we're all in the same field here for age-wise, where this is one of those things that just stuck out. That card was just, whether you like baseball cards or not, you knew that card. I don't know if you remember that.
I think I vaguely remember. I mean, I played baseball as a kid.
Okay.
Roughly around that time, probably.
Sure.
So.
Did you collect baseball cards too at all?
I did for a short period, yeah.
Okay. I think we all went through a phase.
Actually,
even if you didn't, even if you didn't like it. Like, I remember having friends that couldn't play, what have you, and just they still had, I got these laying around. Everybody, when we were kids, we all had them lying around. So. Hey, Nate says he can hear everybody great. It's Hanksman. What up, Hanksman? Shout out to Nate Hanksman.
I was going to actually see if I can get in and look at the chat. I have to do it from
here,
YouTube,
I got
right?
you. I got you, buddy. Yeah,
Cool.
I don't know where do you see this window right here on the side? I can't find the clicker to shut it.
Which?
It's it's like on the left side of our stream right now.
Okay, let me.
Dang thing. It's like it's got call logs in it.
Oh, wait.
Just freaking.
I totally see myself. I think on the live stream.
Yeah, it's pushing everybody over to the side.
Yeah, it's push. You see my ear, or lack of.
I only see your logo or your name.
I want to close this little window.
Okay, all right.
Trying to move.
Sorry, I'm rambling.
Don't want to lose our conversation.
Oh, that's gone. We lost that a while.
What did I miss? What did you guys start going in? And I'm assuming since this is called Weaving Spiders, this is an offshoot to Bohemian Grove. Do you guys need me to jerk off or
100%.
something? What I do to get in?
Yeah, I mean, a child Moloch would be ideal, but hey, we can only get so much here, right? Yeah, I see what you got going on here, Jim. I don't know what. Oh, I do know actually. It would be all right. So you got your. That's a lot of information.
I can share my thing with you.
Of course, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that.
Let's get you.
I'm not that adventurous.
Booseephus, do you want to tell him? I think. Okay, so the little hamburger button. Duh. Go in your main Skype.
Hamburger?
Into your main Skype. Look, I'll screen share my screen with you.
You mean
Jim?
At the top? What? What's a hamburger button?
Yeah. Okay. You know the 3 lines, the hamburger.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. Click that.
Should
go away.
It says.
It should say meeting with Jim.
Feedback.
No. We're troubleshooting on the air here. All right. So I see what you're seeing on YouTube, Jim. It's not in the top bar. It's in the. Okay, it's right behind where your frame is.
Okay. Nice. Thank
lines.
you.
Okay, got it. All right, we're good, guys.
That's way better. Okay, now I can move you side to side too.
Cool.
Oops. But I don't want to do that. Okay.
Okay. So
That's
yeah,
better.
I'll get back real quick here. Okay, so Booseephus, yeah, that's what we got going on here. This is we're kind of want to make it a place to decompress for authors, researchers, what have you. We're gonna have more guests on, obviously, and the whole nine. But to come decompress, talk shit, and just laugh, kind of like I've been saying. But also, it's not a joke, but we need to make proper jokes out of certain everyday
a silly time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A very silly time. Yeah. No. Yes. We can have our own cremation of care too. I think.
There you go.
Want. It's burn offerings. Anyone?
Yeah.
Yep. burning offerings left and right. Shit. Jim is. I know he's smudging over there. What do you got going on, Jim?
I have got some incense. Hold on. I'm just
I know.
trying to get this silliness.
Okay. So one of the things we were going to talk about this week was one of the ideas I had was the randomly scrolling through just podcasts, blah blah blah, and I see that Joe Rogan had a new one, and I was like, oh, who's on his? Look, it's Miley Cyrus, and I was like, oh, this should be funny and interesting. I don't care anything about Miley Cyrus, but she's whatever. She's an interesting character. I think we can all agree. And an interesting choice that she's with the Britney Spears. You could put her up there. There's elements here of friggin' in the riggin', as I love to say, with her whole being raised as a Disney kid. There's just so many things that go with that. I mean, that are attached to that Disney, just the name. But growing up as a Mouseketeer and all that nonsense, it's just funny to hear her speaking on, just everyday random topics that, a Joe Rogan podcast can bring to whatever. But it's also funny for me, in my opinion. I just found it humorous. I decided to take a little note down to this is a worthy topic, I think, is how celebrities, especially big I wouldn't consider it like thespian like celebrity, but singing, dancing, the whole kit and caboodle, can do it all, act, play sports, all those. I'd put Miley Cyrus in that category, um, and she's from obviously from her dad. Well, that song was one song everybody knows. Anybody our age knows that was just one song, probably somebody else freaking wrote, and it was a horrible song to begin with, period. But all that aside, she was raised in that limelight, and then shaves her head, does the whole Britney thing, kind of, you know. But yeah, to hear her open up on Joe Rogan and then talking about how she wants to write kids books, but warning kids how they should, but they warn us about sex and all this stuff, but they don't warn us about drugs. And she openly admits to doing a bunch of drugs on there and this, that, and the other, which I'm glad she's not denying it, because it's pretty obvious. But the point is what celebrity can you imagine? I can't even put it in. I can't even imagine it, honestly. What celebrity would, it's not even a celebrity. She's like a superstar. She's the next level. She's not just a celebrity, right? Who's even on this girl's level even today? Like Lady Gaga, who else? Like I can't. Well, but the point is, she's doing Joe Rogan. Like these are people that would never do a podcast more than an hour at that per se, even too. Even if it was like something that your contract and your agent has you doing. You know what I mean? It would be like a 30-minute session or 25 minutes here. Strict certain amount of time, and you're sitting down for a whole afternoon doing 15 of these things, and then you don't ever have to do it again. That's the caliber. Sorry to cut you off, but
I'm sorry.
No. That's the caliber though of celebrity now on a Joe Rogan podcast, and I mean like that's a big interview. That's a huge get, for him. I mean, but I just find it fascinating that and it's almost like watching them squirm a little bit because they're having to enter into arenas that they normally wouldn't have to because nobody gives a shit because of they're not doing anything except putting out music. But there's some video, but there's no live anything right now. Still, we have no live shows. We have none of that. So I just found it, an interesting topic to watch celebrities have to squirm and actually have to bear, come out, drag themselves into a different spotlight, if you will, out of shadows.
Yeah. Well, they're changing everything up now because all the media, all the channels that we used to have. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all the channels that we used to have for brainwashing used to be commercial TV and MTV. All the stuff that they fed to us, and it was our options. Like 150 shitty channels with nothing on but commercials. Now we've got, we've had YouTube. It was the Wild West, and they're just kind of destroying that at this point. I think they're trying to get ahead of it by having
right. So they're acting like, oh, this is a natural progression here, yeah. Right? Of the celebrity, blah blah blah. So yeah, now you're gonna do this. This is how it's gonna work now, guys. These are the means, and I can't even imagine how people can demonize Joe Rogan and be like, oh, like cancel him. I don't know. I'll never understand that. I don't want to understand that.
It's a controlled demolition of our society. Because they did it on purpose. They raised these girls up to idol status, for little girls that were the same age as them. They look up to them. They're musicians like they want to be. They're famous, and then
right.
And then as they get older, they all go off the rails and get wild. But these girls are still role models for the youth.
Right.
So it's actually on purpose just to guide everybody off the right path.
Right.
into just wrecking balling their own life and our culture.
Pun intended.
Yeah. I wonder is this is right after, because I didn't see the episode, but Joe Rogan just got the Spotify deal, so this was like right when he's in just that platform. Is there like some sort of cross between Disney and Spotify? Is it because it feels like this is almost like a corporate merger? And
Yeah.
that's why he's did the interview with her. I mean, I could be wrong, but it seems forced a bit.
It does seem a bit forced. I get where I totally, and I thought that same thing when I saw her name there, placed, and I was just like, huh. But then I looked back to see, I don't know exactly what the date was Spotify that he started with Spotify, but it has, like Duncan Trussell was the one before, and then Annie Lederman, I think was another one prior to. So apparently, though, from what I understand, and a lot of people, by the way, Nate, good looking out in the chat. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I saw that. I turned it up. Is
Jim.
that any better?
Okay, cool. Nate,
Anyway,
or anybody in the chat,
if
if he can, if he's louder, let us know if he sounds better. But basically, yeah, it's. But I heard that Joe Rogan could not bring over the Alex Jones interviews, and he will not be able to use those on. They won't be allowing those episodes on the platform, so that's going to take away from. That's a huge amount. Also, some of the Joey Diaz ones too. I know he has said some pretty whatever grotesque to a lot of people. Some of it misogynistic, whatever things, but I don't think it's any reason to. I'm not going to get in my opinions about that, but certain episodes aren't going to be allowed to be over. They're not. Spotify's not going to allow it to be on the platform, which I think was a shock to Joe Rogan. If he's playing dumb, who the hell knows? I don't know. We don't know.
I mean, isn't like the Chinese government own like a large stake in that company, and probably Alex Jones talking about the Chai Gums. That's something.
Yeah, I mean, right. That's a good question. I don't know if they do.
I think they do.
They do.
I'm pretty sure they're a huge investor in it.
In Spotify.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that CCP. So,
well,
I mean,
isn't that the same with TikTok though? I mean, they had
very much so.
Yeah, I mean, so I love Spotify. I do. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to everybody. Whatever. Like I don't use it. No, I use it. I love it. I love being able to. And I can't even tell you guys how many new bands not new bands, but bands that I've discovered. Been like, oh shit, I didn't realize he was in this, or you know what I mean. Those sorts of things, just little connections. It's great at turning you on to new things. So I don't know. I like Spotify. I like the platform.
It does seem like for the artists, they kind of like lowball them though.
Oh,
on there.
And but here's the thing. I haven't heard anybody, and like I've got a few, still have close friends that are in bands that are still touring and or plan on touring and have had to cancel. And I asked one of them, shout out to Kyle. What up, Kyle? How big of a difference it was, with Apple Music, with Spotify, with blah, blah, blah. And it's not about that anymore at all. And it's basically, it's only about merch. It's only about Bandcamp. It's literally just merch and being able to go on the road.
Which they can't do that anymore.
Right. I mean, right now. Yeah.
Right now.
It's just crazy because I remember him canceling and me messaging him and being like, dude, because he moved out to Portland recently. Yeah, of course. Like a year and a half, 2 years ago, he moved out to Portland with a bunch of friends and ex-bandmates. And I'm like, so where are you guys coming back to, Midwest? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, can't wait to see you, and it'll be in May. And I was like, dude, I'm 99% sure you're going to get canceled. He's like, well, I hope not. But yeah, there's a possibility. This was right in, early March. And then I get the text from him, yep, entire tour is canceled. We're rescheduling it for November. And the tour is going to be with we talked earlier, Booseephus and some metalcore and hardcore bands, stuff like that. This band End, I'll give a shout out to them because they're fucking awesome. End, END, super heavy, really really good. They're Misery Signals. That's the band I'm talking about. I was going on tour with them, but yeah, they had to I guess postpone that back even further. So, but Kyle mentioned that most of the only way they can really make money. Any money is touring selling merch, and that's it. So just shows and merch. So it's gotta be tough. And he said it really doesn't matter. It all matters with how many times the songs are played or streamed via Apple Music, via, insert platform here. Bandcamp is the only way still we can go directly to and interact directly with the artists as of right now. But I mean, it seems like fair game, because I remember it was never, for me personally, and I know for all my bandmates, I could speak for all of them at the time too. It wasn't about making money. It was all about just getting it heard by as many people as possible, like getting it spread. And that's it. Nothing more. They'll come when they come, hang out and see us at shows and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just punk rock.
That's probably what it is. Spotify, then it would be just help you kind of be just more heard, so you could get more people buying your merch and coming to your shows.
Exactly.
But they just kind of hit everyone that's not over $1 million a year in revenue.
Exactly. But here's another thing. I can attest to this. Like, I asked about that too. It's like, well, dude, how did you file for unemployment? What, and then I get messages back like, dude, I'm making more money than, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm making more money than I've ever made. Obviously, they're making more money. If you 1099 that every year, and you have been for a certain amount of time, I'm assuming, the unemployment was a lot better pay than your standard touring. You know what I mean? Like, let's be realistic here. Unless you have like a tour manager and multiple this, that, and the other, you know what I mean? Like a whole crew. Besides your merch guy and your driver, right? If they're normally the same person, right? I mean, that's just how it works. With bands that are signed to labels, major or not major, it really doesn't matter anymore. Clearly, that's not dead, but dying. That's for sure. But I feel like that's a huge digression. I apologize, guys. I'm just rambling now.
Oh, I've got another digression. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I've got an error that says that I need to. It says my Skype volume level and mute button are not available because I'm broadcasting Skype along with my system audio.
Huh.
Well, you're okay.
Okay.
So I wouldn't worry.
Well, good.
It's just
all right.
Everybody in the chat, we're okay, right? With James' volume.
As long as you can hear me. It says that my audio is bunk at this end.
It's not.
Okay, cool.
That's just Illuminati, man. They're trying to gaslight you.
Freaking Illuminati.
There you go. There you go. The masters. The masters.
All right.
I don't like that you're using the name Weaving Spiders.
I know.
They want a buck or two for that. Like, how dare.
Well, I'll fork out that buck or two for them. Take it right off the demonetize us, because look at it, we got all 10 people watching here. Come on, guys. But yeah, I think.
What did you watch that episode with her in it? Because I didn't see it.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it, but I did listen to it, and I don't know if I listened to the whole thing. I can't remember it. It kept me. I was paying attention. It reeled me in from the beginning. Just listening to. She's got a unique speaking voice. It's like a dude's voice. She sounds like a man almost.
She is a man. I'm just saying. I'm sorry for people out there. I know there's no genders right now, but just saying, she was masculine at some point and turned feminine.
She's cute.
I'm sorry, who are you talking about?
I've always thought Miley Cyrus.
Oh, yeah. That's what I thought.
She's got a mullet, that much.
Yeah, some Baphomet kind of styled.
No, it's
chicanery going on.
Got one titty. That coagulate.
Well, that's the kind of thing. The era she's from is like that era of Mickey Mouse Club. Like they were making all the stars, right? So like everyone in that era was the cultural icons, and like you were saying, Jim, about they were kind of like what little girls would model themselves after,
right?
And it's just, I don't know, it's just creepy. I mean, because like obviously Disney has some questionable ways how they want to like steer culture and kind of normalize or sexualize children. I mean, they're.
Yeah, dude.
It seems, and I'm sure she's. I mean, I'm sure she was abused horribly, and I bet her parents knew about it, and they were probably complicit. And I mean, it looks like Billy
But
Ray Cyrus has had his soul sucked out of his body.
yeah,
He's
I
just-
guess. Don't you think though that at the same time, like she might have been one of the? But I can't help but have this view that she seems like the type who would have been kept away from all of that, almost like an untouchable. Do you know what I mean? Like
Well, I don't
for
know.
Yeah, I
some
don't know.
reason, no, only because of her dad, and also because of how close she is to Dolly Parton at the same time too. If you go back and look at like, I'm not saying I have gone back and looked at it like, oh, I'm gonna really take a look at this and get to the bottom of it. Yeah, right. But the point is like, for raw speculation and Illuminati confirm, right? I'm gonna look at it like, I tend to take the view of if there's anybody that was spared out of all, like look at Bella Thorne. Holy shit. Look
Yeah,
at
she was horribly raped.
oh
Right?
my god, dude, and like came, just outright talks about it. Wasn't Britney Spears in the
Yes.
same? Yes.
Well, okay.
So Miley Cyrus seems like a golden child almost, right?
I
Because of
disagree.
oh, okay. I want to know why.
Okay, first of all, Miley Cyrus was born in 1992.
Okay,
Achy Breaky Heart came out in 1992.
that was same year.
Billy Ray Cyrus had a shitty song, and he wanted to be
Yeah,
a famous
nobody-
musician, so he made a promise to give his daughter up
Oh, here we
for
go.
this whatever to make it onto the charts.
Bam.
That's
Yep,
what I
probably.
think, and I think that he.
Do you care to expound on that for anybody that's going to be listening to this later on? I mean, because that's a pretty there's a lot to unwrap there.
Well,
I'm not asking.
I'm
to unwrap
just
the whole
coming up with
thing.
it right now, but
Well, it's
it's-
clicking in my brain. I know
Yeah.
that much.
it kind
and
of. I was working off a hunch though, because I've heard
That's
of
a
a lot
strong hunch.
of a lot of things, like, and I don't, who knows if it's true because it's all hearsay, but like stuff like these whatever clubs or groups or whatever, where a man could get higher in it if he, gave his kids into the situation, perhaps. I don't know. It's all
You don't know the ins and outs.
it's all speculation.
Right.
We see little peeks behind that world. Really,
Sure.
more so the last few years. Like we hear more stories, and
Yeah.
and I think that does happen. And sometimes maybe they're not willing at first, but they probably groom them just like they groom the kids. And
Yeah.
and for how hypersexual she is, it seems like there's probably something that happened.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, there's something definitely going on there.
Well,
and
it's a way to
some-
get them to perform, and if you break them up and do that MK fracturing,
right.
Yeah, the monarch. Yeah, like with the DID, dissociative identity disorder. Yeah, there's definitely some.
It seems like Britney's got it.
Right.
Totally, she's 100%. Dude, that is sad. It's super sad for anybody. It's not like we're like making fun of this, but we have to make fun of this to bring light to it.
Do you remember
Right.
Anna Nicole Smith?
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Sorry.
I think
bad
she had it too. I think that
Oh, bad.
Howard
really bad.
Stern was her. He was her attorney and also her handler.
That's so weird.
He ended up with the child.
That's right, dude.
And all the inheritance and everything.
Talk about scum.
everything, yeah. And I saw a bunch of videos where she was just acting so weird. Like, she'd be like baby talking, and it didn't seem like it was just to be cute. It actually seemed like
It was legit, like her
Like,
brain telling her that this is the smartest way to be acting at this moment,
Or-
right? I know what you mean.
or
Like
like
it's
she
like
was like she didn't know
Oh,
that she was switched. Like it was an
right,
alter.
right.
Almost like she,
Exactly.
like I know it's pretty rare, or I don't know. I don't know if it's even possible for somebody to have alternate personalities and not know about them, or not know that you're switching. It's hard to say
Right.
how it works, but it seemed like that. Same thing with like Britney. I've seen her like start talking with accents and stuff in interviews, like a
Yeah.
British accent. all of a sudden.
Right.
And she's
It's the same thing with what's her name too. I mean, we could go with
Miley.
Nicki Minaj,
Oh,
who openly admits that she's got multiples and has names for them, and like, so I mean, yeah, we've seen that with a lot of these. But I mean, also I can see this is one thing where I can kind of separate myself from this whole question slash not argument going on, but you know what I mean, this whole thing. I can separate myself a little bit because okay, I'm a Gemini. I have a weird, like, all right, right? So there's already a bunch of weird things that go along with that astrological makeup and perception, right? Of everybody, all the 12 signs, right? There's always, you know, certain little things you can always go, oh, well, they must be like this. Like my ex-wife being a Taurus, but like, yeah, holds grudges. Like there's few things, yeah, definitely stick out. Well, one thing for me, I can say that a lot of performers are Geminis. Like that's just what it is. A lot of artists and creative people, creative types. And I remember I grew up an only child, as well. So I remember having to keep myself entertained. I remember creating weird ass characters. Like, I mean, when I was, you know, probably 10 to 12, creating these weird characters that I still remember the names of, that were super intricate and weird, you know what I mean? Like built little backstories for. But that is just granted, that's just a 10 to 12-year-old kid making shit up because I don't have any brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that argument too. But I remember bringing out these characters with my like friends, you know, because I had friends as a kid, obviously, and they'd be like, what? They'd laugh so hard at how ridiculous that was that I'd have like these goofy characters, like not person. Yeah, they were personalities, but they had their own backstories, just like WWF characters from parts unknown. You know what I mean? Like whatever. But I remember like it's still to this day with those friends like an inside running joke. Like I can say the name of the one character and that will just set off, you know, laughs all the way around. And then we'll harken back to that time and just like start laughing about it. Where it's innocent is what I'm trying to say. And that but not for an adult like woman, man in the spotlight coming out saying, yeah, so I've got 6 different altars and one of them is, yeah, this Roman lady or this 16th century Greek. Like what? Helena, like what are you? Yeah, that's a little. You've gone off. You have officially gone off the deep end. Please, consult your DSM. Roman numeral 4. No, but it's just it's gross, and it does seem like there's some breaking of the of the personality down completely. That's classic monarch, right, guys? Classic monarch.
Are you saying you're part of the MK Ultra program?
Damn it!
Is this a
thought
confession?
the name was enough. I thought the name was enough. And...
No, but I understand what you're saying. There is a it's not a line, but there is an aspect to it, like creative people can kind of disassociate naturally and fantasize about different worlds and characters and all that. So that's definitely innocent. So I mean, unless they're like what's her name, Bella Thorne, actually literally saying I was being raped until I was 14, then it's like kind of like an unknown.
Right.
But
and then you also go to this here, and I can take it one level further, and I will every time because having played music as long as I have, it's just ingrained in me. Okay, and that is when people come out trying to be like, this person is totally satanic and totally blah 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 blah. Okay, because their music video has this and this. Now, the music videos, as we all know, they're not created by the artist 99% of the time, right? Unless you're like fucking, unless we're on some like Radiohead control, like how much creative control they have over everything, right? Yep. We're not. That is one thing. Okay,
like the Beatles probably didn't write all those songs,
dude. I don't know, but at the same time, if you go from that angle, if you want to take that angle, I can look at it like this. They played together in Berlin for how long as a band to where they got to know each other musically so well, in and out, better than they know each other as human beings, that that much time together, dude, will allow you to take creative. I can't even, dude. The synergy created there. Just waiting. That's how they got all that. In my opinion, it makes total sense from a musician standpoint.
It's a lot of hits,
dude.
You know,
a lot of. But I mean,
what's that? That thing.
Hey, I'm not saying there wasn't things behind it, like a machine behind it, but they were a machine. In my opinion, in my professional, here we go, professional again. In my professional opinion of like having been still as a creative musician today, I can look at it. I can detach and look at it from your perspective, from an artist's perspective, from a lot of different perspectives, and I can see everybody's argument. Like this wasn't a real. Paul died. The real Paul's dead. You know, all of that. Mark Devlin arguments. All of them. You know, there's so many surrounding the Beatles.
I think the fall one's pretty legit seeming. You know,
Paul.
Yeah, the fall. You know, switching dominant guitar playing hands is kind of a strange thing.
Wait a minute.
You know?
Well, no, that doesn't happen, and that's impossible. Because Paul. Wait a minute. So there's the one Billy Shears, what have you, right? Isn't that correct? Is that the guy that plays them?
Yeah, I think Paul is left-handed now.
And Paul was left-handed the whole time.
And he used to be right-handed at one point.
Like in the first album.
Yeah.
He was.
What? Really?
Yeah. I think he's also shorter.
He's shorter,
right? Like he was like shorter by a significant 5 inches.
Really?
Yeah. And then there's also that argument that the guy's still alive, the original Paul, and he's just like the groundskeeper.
Yeah, I thought that was Billy Shears, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Which the guy looks, it
could be
him.
See
it.
Because in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, in the song, I mean, let me introduce to you the one and only Billy Shears, right? That's the lyric.
Yeah, and Billy Shears was maybe the new guy
that's
took
what.
over.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They switched him out.
Yeah, well, there's someone. Doesn't someone's wife say hello, Billy, to him like at a reward show? They got that on camera. Hello, Billy. And he's like, oh, hello, I'm Billy.
Yeah.
See now, okay. So and then the official line, from what I understand, you guys, is this is one of the conspiracy theories that I never touched because I just couldn't. It's just too much. But anyway, the point is I remember hearing the story saying that the Paul McCartney died in a car accident, and it was just before, I'm guessing, Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah, he blew his mind out in a car. He hadn't noticed that the lights had changed.
What song is that?
I forgot the name of it.
Is it a Beatles song?
Yeah, it's a Beatles song. It's
Oh, sorry, I'm terrible. I just ruined you, put you on the spot. Damn it.
I'm terrible with the names of songs, but it's like 10,000 Holes in Black Bear, Lancashire, or something. You know, or he's talking about the opera house having all these holes in the acoustic panels or something.
Oh, sure. Okay.
It's on.
Sorry. Are you wearing a Swan shirt?
Yes.
Dude. Holy shit. That's awesome. That just made this stream so much better.
I was going to get a little goth
shit,
noisy for you.
I think it's on the White Album. That one.
Okay, I know that record like the back of my hand, too. That's what's pretty weird.
Or maybe
yeah.
Is it on the White Album?
I think it was the song that says Paul is dead and we replaced him with this other guy.
No, it's on. It's on.
That's the song.
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Yeah, that would be the one, because that's the only time they ever bring up Billy Shears. Yeah. So I don't, and I'm not the biggest Beatles aficionado here. I mean, I'm a fan. I don't know.
If you zoom in on the picture of Aleister Crowley, there's a little picture of him on his lapel, and that's the clue. It's actually he's dead.
Really?
I made that up. That's not
okay.
true.
All right. Well, hey, let's start.
I just want to throw some disinformation out there.
We're weaving.
Exactly.
So, but back to the fun. I'll bring it back around. So, what do you? These celebrities having to be forced down now to come down to our level, so to speak, where doing
They're not demigods anymore.
They're not. Yeah, exactly. They're brought down to earth. They're not Yeah, they are of this world as far as we know. They bleed red blood. Um, it just yeah, oh, it's just funny to watch them squirm. And also, I will. There's another thing I did see too. Speaking of squirming, like at CBS News this morning. I don't know if it was the weekend edition or the week edition. I know there's usually a difference, but the funny thing is watching this woman, the anchor, female anchor, essentially tear down Bill Gates was quite possibly some of the greatest television I'd ever seen. Questioning him on his vaccines, he's promoting, like whatever vaccine research and this, that, and the other. And the woman actually stood up to him, asked him questions, and I saw him squirm for no joke, probably 20 seconds or so to give an answer. And he's like, up. I needed a sip of water, and couldn't answer it, being like, yeah, so apparently he says, well, they're in the second stage of trial, the third stage of trial. There's some, progressing, insinuating that it's progressing and it's going to be a great vaccine and this, that, and the other. And the woman's actually like, well, within named like 80%. I can't give the exact quotes here. I should be, and I apologize. But the point is she basically was like, well, sir, do you honestly believe that such and such million Americans will actually want to get this vaccination? And it will actually get this vaccination when the side effects are A, B, and C. And he just squirmed even more. I'd never seen anybody call out a billionaire like that on live television. And I was like, wanted to give us, a rousing applause, and immediately right into CBS for having the balls to do that.
I find it funny that when you bring that, when he's like, like it seems he doesn't actually sound very smart.
No,
I mean, and I feel like he actually literally is a puppet for something else. He just doesn't. I mean, obviously his software wasn't his software. He's been in like 3 antitrust lawsuits.
right.
And it just seems so ridiculous at this point. And I don't know.
With that though, don't you think, like, who do you think would be like, well, if you're gonna go there, who do you think would be? Do you have an inkling of who would be behind that? And how?
I guess it would have meant if there's like the rumors be true that he's like actually a Rockefeller, like by blood, because his like father was in one of their foundations, and it was clearly like one of those things where you had to be like family. I don't know. I mean, obviously this is all speculation.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just his whole story is so stupid.
It is pretty silly.
It's and like that's a funny thing because everyone memory holes. They go, I'm like, this guy's been in 3 antitrust lawsuits. Like, you trust him putting something in your body, and then I saw an article today where they showed that that it came back into the circulation about the polio vaccine they was doing in Africa. That
it gave everybody polio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like they want to like test it in Africa. They're like, oh, we're gonna go test on Africans. It's like,
yeah,
like, we're eugenicists. It's like,
and he's
hello.
sterilized a bunch of Indians.
Yeah,
a bunch of Indian
he
women
kicked
got
out
sterilized by accident.
Yeah. Wasn't he kicked out of India? Like, I feel like I heard that. I can't verify that. Like no more case.
Yeah, right.
It's funny that if he's kicked out of India, because I bet like a lot of Indians are working for him on the telephone, doing.
In their call centers.
Yeah. Hello,
Mm-hmm.
my name is Steve.
It's that in Pakistan.
How can I help you? Be like,
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Steve.
Your English is wonderful. Your American English is even better. Oh my god, dude. It's
preposterous.
It is preposterous.
But yeah, you're right though. Like, the celebrities meltdowns are pretty good. They're just, it seems that the programming is just not working anymore, which is great. I think that's a great bonus.
It's a breakdown. Yeah. What are they gonna? I wonder. Like, we're left to speculate on what. See, and the thing is, we don't want to give any ideas, right? I mean, like, I don't want to be out here speculating on what it could be, and then all of a sudden we're just pumping ideas right into their wheel. But I mean, also, I think if they are the almighty, they are as have their shit together as we think, quote, they do.
I don't think they have it together. I mean,
I don't either.
every celebrity like stream that I've seen in the last few months has just been lame.
Awful.
Exactly.
So bad at it.
No, it's like nobody's giving them advice on content.
Nobody's writing
Nothing
stuff for them. Yeah.
No, there's no right. Yeah.
One question I think is, do you think they just cut off all their assets? Or like they're just dumping them? They're like, no more Ellen, no more Jimmy Fallon. It's just like we're just dump and pump. They're just done.
That's a brilliant way to put it, and to look at it too. Because I don't know if Jimmy Fallon still has a television show. I don't think anybody freaking knows. I don't think anybody notices that Jimmy Kimmel has who gives. We all know he left.
He went on vacation.
Who's turning on these channels anyway? Right. Who's turning these channels on anyway? I mean
it's all bots, dude. It can't be anyone watching it.
Thank you. These Nielsen boxes are a load of trash. I know only one person that's watching that garbage, and her name is my mother. And whatever. I don't. So what does that make the demographic? What 67 and to up to 100 essentially, where these are the only people actually watching, regular television anymore, getting their news from these people as well. And I just don't see it. I don't believe it. So yeah, it's like, what ways? It's just fascinating. We're watching new, obviously really shitty, in our opinion, and I'll speak for myself. Really bad artists. I'll just use that. It's universal artists.
Con artists, that is.
Yeah, exactly. Just come out and put out just trashy. And by trashy, I could mean anything. Content. I mean any kind of content. It's just whatever. That's just what it is.
They need the laugh boxes and the people clapping. It's like the only thing that keeps them afloat. They need all the razzle dazzle.
Exactly.
They can't carry on.
Manufactured, because look at the NBA, and I can't, dude. I'm telling you, I can't even watch it. Like, as much as I want my Milwaukee Bucks to win the NBA championship, this doesn't feel. Not only without the fans, there's also some giant propaganda. We don't even need to go there. It's like one. I don't need that in my face. I'm already aware what's going on. I don't need BLM constantly, just in being bombarded just all the time. It's unnecessary, and it's offensive to everybody at this point. Like, it's just too much.
Especially if you're watching stuff like Netflix or HBO.
Netflix has been doing it forever.
It's like, they sneak it into everything.
Like they're clever and they're woke. Like, give me a break, dude. Y'all just inserted this 7 months or a year and a half after y'all did it, filmed all this, and you put it in post-production, and you just slipped it into 2 episodes just so it's relevant and it's okay for 2020. It's like they've been doing this forever, pumping not weird, but false, what would be seemingly salacious garbage, giving less than 1% of the population, what I'm dancing around here a little bit, but I'm trying. It's hard
out with it, man. Out with it.
There's the trans thing, big deal, whatever. I have multiple, a few trans friends, whatever. I only know a few, whatever. So what? They've Outcasts are who I hang out with, so I'm used to that. It's punk fucking rock. That's whatever. That's what it is. The point is to paint it like the world is filled with these, black trans thing. That's a big thing with the Black Lives Matter. That's the number one thing. Or it's in the top 5 things when they go to list it off, right? Like black trans lives, something like that. I'm like, how many? What? This is really niche. This has gotten sub. If you're going in a music director, this has gone sub genre really fast. You know what I mean? I went from listening to pop to listening to alt, new metal, jazz, acid jazz. You know what I'm saying? What? It's getting really, really sub-genre down for identity and for palating purposes. I don't, and that's what Netflix has been doing. It's like a pandering a streaming service, just to pander to whoever feels slighted, or feels feels the wrath of its own, knife in its own back, of its identity, so to speak. Like, that really didn't make sense, but it made sense to me.
It made sense. I have a theory, kind of, and it's not like it's in stone for me, but I feel like a lot of this, obviously, these things happen around elections and yada yada, but there appears to be like a classic, like kind of like CIA element. Sorry, I should be saying that out loud, but that agency where this to have because for instance, America obviously is a very diverse place, and we have many different types of people, and like we were kind of talking about this earlier, where it used to not really matter, like if you had a different opinion or you're a little bit different, usually people don't give a fuck.
Right.
But the apparent push from medias and celebrities and whatnot to say that we're completely divided, so it's actually manifesting that way, like a spell.
Yep. Black and white, black versus white. That's it.
Right. Fucking Masons, right?
There you go.
It's Joaquin and Bojazz, okay? And that's how it's pronounced, okay? I know what I'm saying. Joaquin and Bojazz,
Okay.
there's at it, just fucking fighting. But this whole division this feels like Arab Spring-esque, like just to get everyone to like tear each other apart on the inside, so because like war is expensive, and if you want to take over a country, you generally just want them to tear it up first before you get your boots in there. If you even do that, I mean, it's like past fourth generational warfare.
Starve them out, right?
You're right. And they're moving on that too, because like we're having, which appears to be weather wars. I don't know if you guys seen this
dude.
Iowa thing that happened with a lot of food got wiped out.
It happened here, and I'll say this, I swear on my life, man, I've lived in this region on and off for a long time, and I've never, ever, it was called a dare echo. That's what it was called. Like, that's literally the name of it. I've never heard of this until that day, and there was tornado sirens going off everywhere I was driving. I'll never forget, dude. Remember sitting in my car being like, I had to pull over, no joke. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do, no joke. I have the AM radio on to the normal channel, the only one that comes in, and during these storms and what have you, I'm just like, okay, I'm pulled up, like I know I shouldn't be driving. There's literally straight line winds, no joke, 60 miles, 70 miles an hour, where it was like cracking old oak tree branches off and just flying into the street. It was literally like looking at something off like straight up hurricane. I've never seen anything like this.
And that's what happened in Iowa. There was a land hurricane that's never happened.
A derecho. That's what it's called.
Right.
Derecho. Yeah.
So, and then we had twin tornadoes, twins. And then China has their floods, and like they were burning their like corn silos.
Yeah. Just like torching all the. Yeah, they're like.
Because they didn't have enough, so they didn't want to show the government that they didn't have enough.
Right. That they didn't meet the quota. Yeah. And so, then.
It seems like they're starting, and not to like, people should be thinking about this right now, because it takes a little while before those things hit. It's this move to, do classic things, cause a division, and then strife and, chaos, and then also starve everyone. So yes, because it's cheaper.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then there's the memory wipe also, which goes into that. Like, I think I was gonna. I thought of this earlier, but it ties back in now. Like, I see it in movies all the time, and it started with Quentin Tarantino and like Inglourious Bastards, I think, where like it's like a creative reimagining of historical events, but they're doing it like so much that
they're changing the narrative is getting the storyline is getting twisted.
It's gonna muddy the reality.
Yeah,
it's like
it's a Mandela effect almost.
The Civil War wasn't started because of slavery. We know that
had nothing to do with it.
But in TV shows now, they say stuff like the Civil War was to protect us slaves, or they try to they're bringing up all these racial issues in like all these modern shows, like a lot of historical dramas, and they're like, well, let's lynch the guy, where like in reality it wasn't as bad maybe as they're making it look, or like it's different.
Exactly. And it's the same thing when you tune in, like I can attest to, when you tune in to watch the NBA playoffs here, you'll get commercials I don't know if it's the same, but it was bad. I'll never forget tuning it in the first time, watching the Bucks in there, and it was on national television. It was literally, you'd think it was 1965 Jim Crow era. And you'd think, oh my God, are the like, what is wrong with this country? What is wrong with everything? Like, it's not what?
No, they're trying to make that narrative and spin that we're all just crazy racist when honestly that's got to be such a small fraction of the population.
Seriously,
like very, very small. Most people.
I don't know any race. I don't know any white racist. I don't personally know any. None.
Yeah, no skinheads. I mean, I know I look like a skinhead. I
remember Nazi skins. Yeah, we used to kick the shit out of them, dude. That was literally what we did. Like, let's go find some Nazis and beat the shit out of them. That was a thing. Like hammer skins. Yep. Anybody that has no idea, if you ever hear that, they're a freaking Nazi and punch them in the face. Yeah. End of story, right? I mean, like, hammerskins are pieces of shit.
They sound like this song and dance, too, when they go, hammerskins.
Yeah, right?
Hammerskins.
Yeah, right? Oh, man. So bad. But, you know, Chris Knowles can talk to you. Chris Knowles knows exactly what we're talking about here, though, because he knows. He was around in the Boston hardcore scene back in those days, too. I mean, that's like where I come from, where you come from. You know, it's that kind of thing. It's just like, oh, shit. But, yeah, punch Nazi in the face. That's fine with me. I love that. Yes, keep that going. That's one of the things that worries me a little bit about this. It's like, you know how things get where it's just like, when is that going to be like hip and edgy, being a Nazi? Because it's something to be, you know, is deplorable and is pathetic.
I haven't actually met a real racist that was, I mean, last racist I met was, it's like my grandpa's age.
So I mean, they're like bigots, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're just like shit talking behind. They would never say it to their face.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was, when I first moved to this town, I moved from Portland, and I lived like right off of MLK, so like I didn't see that many white people most of the time. So when I moved to where I'm at now, where there's like, I didn't see any black people for like 2 weeks when I first moved here, and then I went to this bar, and I was talking to this old man who knew my grandpa, and then we were talking. He seemed nice, and then he's like, "Look at that!" He's like points to the back to the guy in the kitchen. He's like, "Look at that! Look at that guy!" And he started saying some stuff, and I was like, "Hey, you need to get away from me or get out of here if you're gonna talk like that." And he like
seriously
took off, and then.
He got his race mobile.
Yeah, he got his race mobile and took off.
Like a racist Batman.
And I was talking to the cook because he heard it, and I was like, you know what? It's I'm really happy to see a black face because I haven't seen any black people for weeks since I moved here.
Right.
And
some normalcy.
You know, it's just
and
there's different.
If that was filmed and it was a Netflix show, it would be canceled immediately because there was only one black person. It's like, or there weren't any gays. There were no gays around. So sorry, dude, it wasn't diverse enough. Can we gay this? Can we gay this scene up a little bit, guys? Let's gay it up.
Very stereotypical too.
Yeah, right.
Real stereotypical.
We need to, like it's their goal. It's our goal to offend. Let's keep it as diverse as possible, but let's offend. Let's keep it as stereotypical as possible too, guys. You know.
Yeah.
It's
You don't want to offend, just in a rage.
Right. That's all they want us to do. React, rage, be angry. Be angry. What?
Yeah, that's all they got right now. Is just making us confused and angry and scared. It's just.
Yep. The brooms.
So stupid.
The brooms.
It's like
the brooms.
Yeah.
That's what we're. Yeah. Instead of NPCs and instead of the sheep. We're just like from Fantasia and Mickey. Yeah, just call them the brooms.
Little brooms. Mindless
brooms.
No player character. No player.
Nope.
No character.
Non-player.
Non-player. Yeah.
Nonsense player characters.
Yeah, they're
their mask.
Those guys in the corner, half into the wall, walking the wrong way, you know.
Oh man. So, guys, I want to steer this a little bit. So I'm curious to know I don't know. I keep my television and my media stuff to a minimum. I will like tune in for like to watch about NBA playoff game or what have you, if that's the case. But that's pretty much it's scheduled. You know what I mean? Tuning in. I don't just flip the TV on anymore just to flip it on. But that said, I'm curious to know, Booseephus, where you're located. Are you on the East Coast? Right?
I'm located in the hearts of every American.
I love that.
I'm in northern Nevada, Reno.
Oh, that's Reno. That's right.
Yeah. I'm Reno trash.
Shit.
I love Reno.
You know, Reno's legit. I mean, it's kind of like melt toast lately. We have a lot of no offense against Californians, but there's been a lot of them moving here in the last few years, just trying to go. Oh, it's like with California. So they started making things more California here, and it's more gentrified because it used to be a little rough and tumble place. I mean, lots of meth heads and stabby, shooty. There's still some of that, but it's definitely getting pushed in the further peripheral of the town. But
Sure.
yeah, no, but I lived in Vegas, and that was a shithole. And offense to everyone that's from Vegas, 'cause fuck that place.
Right.
I really hate Vegas.
It's
it is the butthole of America.
How can people stay there for 3 days, like in that weird, you know what I mean, like in the vacation Vegas, like any more than actually probably 48 hours. I don't know how that doesn't induce absolute, like,
It'll kill you.
Yeah, absolute.
Everyone's a hustler there, dude. Like, even grandmas are hustlers. It's fucking scary. I had my car broken into like 15 times in 2 years. It was nuts. I just left it unlocked eventually. I was like just because I was tired of getting my windows broken and everything. But I also lived in the Bay Area before it got really, really techno bad. Which I loved Oakland. Oakland was great. I lived there.
That's what all my friends. Yeah, I've only been through, like, played shows there and then had to, you know what I mean, like, go on to the next. Only get a little bit of time.
Yeah, but but mostly I'm a Renoite.
Okay, so I'm curious to know. Well, so like how the Kenosha thing was here compared to there. Like here, it was always like I'm checking in with my people in New York, like Billy. What up, Billy Ray? From the Infinite Fringe and America Unplugged. I check in. We'd always be doing checks because I'm like the Midwest Connect. You know what I mean? Like he's obviously the East Coast Bronx in the Bronx, and then out on the West Coast, whatever. We just check in with everybody during when all this was going down, like with the pandemic and what was happening, in each place. And the point was like, I'm just curious to know like how the news reporting on Kenosha was out there. If they were making it look like the entire city was on fire, that kind of thing, or if you took in, because we all take in our media different. Like I was just saying before, we don't just flip the TV on. We're not whatever. But I'm just curious to know what besides the national reporting, because I didn't get much of that. I'm just looking at Twitter. I'm looking at it as it's happening, kind of like, holy shit, this is happening, and it's now in the backyard, and it's not.
Hey, Barsky.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
How did you feel about it? What was your opinion of it by what you saw from your perspective? Was it scary?
The first thing, obviously, everybody saw. No. The first thing, I didn't have any of that. Neither did anybody around me, like my immediate connections here, family, and blah blah blah. But after seeing I saw the shooting late. Obviously, the Blake character. And obviously I think that's the one everybody saw, the standard one.
Yeah.
And it looked like he fired 7 shots. It wasn't him firing 7; he just fired 4, and then another cop fired 3. Once you saw it from a different, how do you miss those 3 with those like another? That's neither here nor there. The main one where you saw from the guy's like screen door. I think that's the one everybody saw the most.
Yeah.
The optics for that were absolutely awful. And no matter what, I'm thinking, I don't care what this dude has on him. I don't see a knife. We didn't see any weapons. We didn't see anything, right? We only just saw him trying to get into his van or minivan or what have you, and then getting popped. Awful. Obviously no one, that's terrible. Yeah. And the optics are even worse because, dude, I'm thinking, how could this cop be this stupid, right? Like, with the way, just
Climate.
it's a tinderbox. Yeah, this climate, you've got to do everything you possibly can to de-escalate any of these situations. But granted, we're only seeing a split second of it. Now, then also I snap back into the mode of shit. Is this this cop? I always notice this, and I don't think it's a racism thing with cops, but it does look racist, right? The optics of it look bad. But I think we can all, as white males, guys, this is the most hated, whatever. Anyway, the point is we all can probably look at these white cops and go, okay, this dude clearly hasn't had enough interaction with minorities. You know what I mean? And he's panicking. Like, we've all seen these before where cops are like freaking out, with a normal, they pull over, they profile a black person, pull them over, black male, and they'll be like all talking normal, and you'll see the body cam footage and what have you, replaying it, like, and the black guy will have his hands out, like wants to see his hands all the time, make sure he doesn't get shot, because that's a thing. It's just insane that people deny that that's actually not, they say that's not a thing, which is bullshit. It is a thing, because cops freak out and they don't know what they're dealing with, and they haven't had, sensitivity training. Yeah, if it's that silly and sensitivity training, give it to all of them all the time, because clearly the ones that didn't grow up around blacks or in, marginalized areas or integrated enough, they don't know what they're dealing with. And I've seen them just like start, the fear causes them to snap into this mode where they're, in a, like a, not a 3-point stance, but like a, like a crouch stance, the pistol, aimed back, knees bent properly. You know what I'm saying? Like, just ready to fire, ready to unload a clip into them for a traffic citation. It's absurd. And we've seen these cops panic. I know I'm all over the place, but the thing is I think these cops just panic and they don't know how to do anything. And they panic, especially when dealing with, someone that skin color is different from theirs or have a little bit more melanin. It's super weird, but I can see this cop. I don't think it's a racial thing. Like, I don't think, this guy's black, I don't like him, shoot him. Or they have any of that. I just think it's some weird fear kicks in and a panic mode comes over them, and that's the only way that they know how to deal with is to either aim the gun at him super hard and not hear anything. Anybody's trying to talk sense into him. There's nope. It's like they see red. You know what I mean? They don't know what to do. They're in danger, so they're like, I must kill, threat, that kind of thing. Like, just takes over. Does that make sense? It's like, it's a panic. It feels like they're panicking because they don't know what decision to make, and they don't know if they're in danger. But just to make sure they're not in danger or anybody else in their surroundings is in danger, they're going to eliminate the threat completely and ask questions later, which is totally bass backwards and stupid. And there's those cases, and that's what I felt like taking a few steps back, viewing this. That's what I felt like I saw. Whereas with the George Floyd, him staring at, that was like an assassination, straight up, the way he looked into the camera. After viewing that as many times I viewed it and feeling those gross feelings, seeing 8 minutes, 46 seconds, there was something else there, clearly. Like, that wasn't a racial thing. It could have been part of a racial thing. Like, yeah, I effing hate this dude, and I've hated him for years. Or I can't stand this scumbag piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Running through his head while he's staring at the camera to make sure that, yes, this is being captured. Yes, I am this officer killing this person. You know what I mean? And it's on camera, and there you have it. Like, I've never seen anything like that. That was egregious as hell. This shooting was egregious in another manner. But either way, it's unacceptable and wrong. But it's, once again, it's just, it's racism. It's that black and white. When it's fucking not. It's not a racist thing at all. Y'all just skewed it that way because that's the lens we're viewing everything through these days. And that's it. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's a horrible, tragic situation. And, 3 kids in the car, apparently. What are you doing shooting? What are you doing shooting? How did this guy miss? Why is nobody talking about where did those other 3 bullets go? Yeah. And do you know what I mean? How do you miss 3 times? And then
18.
I'm
still
baffled.
Yeah, for real.
Shot at the feet.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Man. Yeah. But I know that was super long-winded and obnoxious, but how I viewed it was not racially but I could easily see how, yeah, you can spin it that way because that's how everything's being spun right now. So, it really concerned me though once like those, a line of 50 cars is coming down the street and everything's been co-opted. Like these people are not, it ain't the grassroots BLM people that don't know any better that movement has been completely hijacked and co-opted. And yeah, it's not, and I'm serious here, man. Like we're integrated as hell. Like this city is super integrated. So it's all the way up, from Lake Michigan to the 5 miles to the interstate. I'm talking about 7 miles, all the way from Chicago, all the way up to like almost Green Bay. It stops after like the north side of Milwaukee because that's like super rich white folk area. But other than that, it's like all just imagine the spillover, from Chicago and Milwaukee mixed in. That's what you have right here. So it's like I didn't know, if for a spot of unrest, I'm in a terrible, terrible place. If everything, you know what I mean? Like if it were to pop off, like if they were to make this ground zero, it would just be one giant geographic area. It's hard to.
David, are you armed? Might start thinking about that.
He's got a microphone.
Let's just say ammo is hard to get by, so just
I know
dollar around at least if you're gonna find it.
No, I do not own a firearm. I'm stupid for not.
No, I don't think it's gonna get to that point.
I don't either.
But first of all, how dare you assume I'm just white? I'm actually 25% Native American.
No,
I know I
you
look
got
white
25? You got the 25, bro?
Yeah, I got the 25, yo.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even got the 25.
You beat me, guys.
I got the 16th.
I'm 64th.
It's just the white genes that just take over the native. So,
Yeah.
well, it's just...
And I got Cherokee. No joke. Cherokee D. What up?
Well,
I'm Blackfoot. Blackfeet.
Blackfoot?
Blackfeet.
So
are you guys really lying? Who's what?
Yeah, no, I'm not lying.
No, okay.
My grandmother was full blood native.
Really?
So, yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Tribe?
I don't remember the name of the tribe off my top of my head because I wasn't really close to her, but I know they were killed off. That's the only thing she told me. She said that they were warred out. They didn't like settling, I guess.
Shit.
If I could, I know.
Do you know what? I don't mean to put you on the spot like that. I'm sorry. Like whereabouts in the country? Like,
so New Mexico. So like if
we're talking like Navajo, we're talking could be like Ute.
It was a very strange name. I can't remember off the top of my head. Like I said, they were a bit estranged. So I may have saw her like 7 times because one of my father was kind of out of my life for a large portion of time, and that's his mother. But I'm still actually right now trying to get info on that genealogy, because the whole thing about ancestral magic, kind of like getting into your roots, I've been interested in. But anyways, I was mostly just
selling out to the digital database. I totally
I've
get
got
it.
a side note for you there. If you're Navajo, I have a friend who's Navajo, and the story is from his family that they are the Egyptians. The Navajo, the Egyptians came over here during the the same people that are the Egyptians. I don't know if it was from Atlantis or something, but
because they were seafaring, and like there's that whole thing about the Grand Canyon had like Asian or like Egyptian artifacts and stuff. And I think you can make or even just the what do you call them? The Siberian tribes. They're very native. Like there's a lot of similarities. So
I know exactly. I know what you're talking about.
Right. I mean, there's crossover for sure. But yeah, I didn't mean to go on a tangent there. But like, I look very more so white.
Yeah, we all.
I like to play that card when I can. I'm like, how dare you?
25%. Yeah, that you can play 25%.
Yeah, you can get money from.
I think I can get land.
You totally can. My cousin did.
Land, and they would like hate me. They're like, "What's this white boy doing here?" And I'm like, "Hey man, let's smoke some pinners and fucking drink."
Yeah.
See, it's funny. Like, I gotta be really careful. I do have to be kind of careful. I think. Saying what I'm about to say. So my cousin, he got tested back before all the DNA nonsense was available to see exactly how much Cherokee we were, and I'll let him get chalked up. We found we were like a 16th, right? But it was enough where I could found out, yeah, I can go down to Oklahoma and live there and have, whatever. Whatever. That's not what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
You're in the
But
range
he
there.
bit the bullet. He bit the bullet.
Yeah.
And,
well, we can smell our own, dude. That's why we're all here.
Spook.
I'm 164th. It's my great, or maybe there's one more great, but it's my grandmother on my mom's side, and apparently there's this old author called Louis L'Amour who wrote all these Western novels or books or whatever. I've never read any of them, but one of them is based on this like trapper who married an Indian princess, and the Indian princess was like my great grandmother in this book.
Really?
So like I don't know if it's like an actual, like he kind of took some liberties about like the romance and all that stuff. I would assume, but
Right.
it's based on real people. So
That's awesome.
it's, I'm not like enough to.
You might be related to the actual Pocahontas. That's what you're saying.
Well, I don't know if she was a black. There's Blackfoot and Blackfeet, and Blackfeet is what she was, a princess of. And I think they were like Montana area or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like
Because
travelers.
that's
That's why their feet were black, because they're
Yeah, because like
walking.
Southern Indians were like Mesoamerican, which I'm more so, and like the Northern would be, Northern folk.
we have well,
Canadian
there's like
Indians.
Menominee. Like around here, there's so many. Like it's it's insane here. Like Menominee. We have Potawatomi. There's so many.
What's
It's
the name? That's Indian, right?
Milwaukee.
Of the town, the name.
Milwaukee. Oh, Racine.
Or wait,
No.
Kenosha.
Kenosha. I don't know the root of Kenosha. I know the
Definitely
roots of
sounds
Racine is literally root
native.
scene.
Okay.
And that's
Interesting.
that's the Root River that runs through. That used to run through the backyard I grew up in. But then Milwaukee, obviously everybody knows from Wayne's World. Yeah. Super
And Alice
super
Cooper.
Native
Thanks, Alice
American.
Cooper.
Well, it's just whatever. A lot of indigenous history around here, but that's all been. We all know that's been whitewashed to hell and back.
Yeah.
But guys, I
I
wanted
didn't
to.
mean, I didn't mean to throw.
No. There is one theory that I want to bring to this table right now for fun, and it explains a lot, and we can touch on this later on and keep this running as long as possible, because I think it's definitely a running quote unquote conspiracy. But having a conversation with a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago, trying to pinpoint a few not discrepancies, but weird things in the timeline, so to speak, of how could they have gotten away with all this. And let's just take it from the Cold War. Let's just take it from like right around Cold War, right? So we're post Roswell, let's say like 1950, right around Cold War, Korea, what have you, where secrecy became paramount. We started hating communists and outwardly hating communism and Stalin, just post that world, right? And how all these people out here, like there's no way this could, all those people at NASA could have done this, and this, right? And kept their mouths shut. And there's no way that, all these people knew about this and were complicit in this, right? This being space is what we understand space to be as a whole. What we understand, basically our entire narrative, right? Like all the history that we're taught from the 50s onward about what's transpired and what, all this stuff. Basically my point is I think all of it is like a lie, like a pro-American lie kind of thing. Like we can boil it down to just one thing, and it just became like everybody within, like only a few people really knew the truth, that this was all BS, but it was all put on display like it was all true. Like, for example, Sputnik, us landing on the moon, all that stuff. Oh, yeah, it's all for show, right? And so only a few people really know the actual truth, but everybody else is just picking up a torch or picking up a baton wherever they will in their life that's working for the government and the bureaucratic whatever establishment, military industrial complex, whatever you want to call it.
I think that the odds are there that it could be. It could be the somebody got a charter from the Queen to make this country for like, you know, a quarter of a millennia, you know, 250 years.
Like here's your control.
Yeah, like Hong Kong, you know, like it went back to Hong Kong after like,
China's control. Yeah, correct.
I think the United States is an experiment.
I do too, but here's the thing. Here's where it goes weird, because I think it was like post World War II, right? So we had to split up because that's when everything takes a really unique twist as to how countries became nation states, countries. From a geopolitical standpoint, right? That's when the whole board has been shook up to a certain amount. You know, we get Israel, we get all this stuff, we get all this nonsense. Okay, my point is I believe that how people will argue and say that this isn't true, but how could this be true with it from a conspiracy standpoint? Correct? Like if you look at it, I don't know if you're following Booseephus, but it's almost literally like. It's these random like NPCs picked up batons, like I'm saying, and just keep the narrative going.
The brooms picked up buckets.
It's exactly, the brooms decided to pick up buckets thinking they were gonna sop water into them or what have you, but nope, it's the wrong. But what doesn't matter, the point is it's the narrative has been carried. It carries itself, right? The narrative just carries itself. It stands on its own almost, as being just one giant, egregious lie that it was bought into by so many people at such a young age that it became its own egregore and its own monster, living, breathing thing. And that is essentially what we're dealing with today, where there is no real they anymore to really point fingers at. There is no real... This is what Q has kind of brought to all this shit. It's like, yeah, that's a living, breathing embodiment of exactly what I'm speaking of right here, right now. That has grown to, it's a mammoth. It's just gigantic. Q can be stopped, thank God, and hopefully will. But that's like a microcosm of what I speak of here. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, and I think it's because when people are talking about Q. When people are talking about racism, when people are talking about shootings, they're not talking about whether or not it makes sense that we have to wear face masks until November, or whether or not it makes sense that
right. Proactively, you're setting. I'm going to set a 3-month mandate for wearing masks. What are you? How do you know? You know what the virus is going to feel like in fucking 8 months?
Yeah.
They don't want to shut it. They don't want to stop the shutdowns.
Exactly.
It's going to keep on moving that bar.
It's sadomasochism. It's public BDSM, and it's insane, and we're getting off on it. It doesn't even.
Oh yeah, it's sadomasochism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They're all coming.
Where's your board, dude? Press your.
Is there a mute button?
It's a jerk off fest, man. This whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm
not even. Go ahead. Sorry,
no, you can go ahead.
Well, as we don't use the word squirt around here.
Oh.
It's a fucking squirt fest.
Yeah, nope. I'm 86 and all bear talk. I'm not in that. No, I'm just kidding. But go ahead. I'm not, but I am.
Squirt's a universal.
Yeah. But no, it just seems like it's been picked up, and it's an
egregore that's
and it's out of control.
Headless blunder.
Exactly. That's the only thing that can make this much sense, because it's like I've broken this down with like friends that are like scholars, like a couple credits away from getting their doctorates. You know what I mean? I'm like,
oh, Steve, that guy's
what
smart.
Do you think of that? What do you think? Right, from India. No, like I'll bring a few like conspiracy du jour topics to him, and he'll just like, Barsky, I'm into ancient Rome. You're into this. I'm like, okay, valid point, but still, how do you blah blah blah, and I'll show them a few things like there's documents to back up this being something, you know what I mean, this is tangible, we have evidence of this being this, right? Fill in the blank with your favorite conspiracy. And then he's like, well, have you ever thought, and we both together walked each other through it a little bit and came to that conclusion that I just brought to you guys a second ago, where it's literally like, yeah, this is just one big agreed upon lie that it's just, yeah, like an egregore just been fed. It's just a bumbling monster at this juncture, and it's nearly impossible to take it down, because you're going to always have these people going, nope, this part is legit, like part of NASA or part of whatever. Do you know what I mean? So we'll never get a straight answer on this one. It's been mucked up and just mired in shit that we will never be able to actually get that diamond of truth out of it. But I think we've been able to, over the years, I think people have been able to dig into that muck and mire and pull out a lot of truth. I don't know if that's even the right word. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, it seems like a lot of these conspiracies just are NPC run, NPC fueled, and nobody's out here like, well, it's not like we can't take it down. It's impossible. Basically, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's like us taking a religion down because we're going to call it out for what it really is, sort of thing. Right. You know, it's
as far as like the conspiracy culture now, and I'm sure like you fellows, I when I first got into conspiracies was probably about almost 20 years ago, and so like Robert Anton Wilson was like my primer. Sure. A lot of that stuff, which, you know, it's a great primer. It was like a little bit more fun. I'm not saying that it's like it was all like funny and great and grand, but like, you know, I mean, it's it's more weaponized now, obviously, and there appears to be agendas to have things run amok or just muddy the waters. And I think too that has something to do with if there is families and cults and all these things that have been kind of like laying these groundworks for whatever they're trying to do, their agendas, is that over time they denigrate, just like how, like, say, like Rockefellers, like the great Rockefeller or Rothschilds were like, you know, they were real cutthroat and just like, we're like, you know, like, yes, this is part of my plan and it'll go swimmingly. And when they have kids and their kids have kids, they just get a little shittier and just like bad at their job of being evil. Right. So, like, I think there's some aspect of that, too, where we're just seeing, like, they're dropping the ball. And, like, when David Rockefeller died, I don't think anyone really, like, in his family was like, I can do this. Because he was kind of like,
pick up the ball. I got this one, guys.
Yeah. So I think that's when we started seeing, because that was around 2016, we started seeing all the mobs start kind of going for the power grab. Yep. And I think that's where we're kind of at right now, where we're seeing some of that, the mobby whoever's, I don't know if it's Rome and there's like some Rothschild and whatever. But yeah, I don't know if I was making a sense of there, but yeah, it does seem like it's just so crazy, and the internet also fuels a lot of this, and just like whatever the human animal aggregore is, the consciousness of our whole being is starting to mutate into something else, because we're kind of like integrating with technology in a way, which I know like the technocrats want that. They want that.
Yeah, it's like when we lose our phone, it feels like, oh shit, there goes my left pinky finger. And
we're having this struggle with like human us, and then like this new techno guy. I don't know where I was going with this, but it's just, we're just in a very interesting times, trajectory, and I feel like more reaching back into more analog, real experiences are going to help us a lot. I've been trying to do that more so myself, and sometimes I fail. But like, you know, we started gardening recently, and that just, you know, like even just having conversations like this helps, not just texting.
Exactly. You know? Thank you. I mean, because it brings context into it, and that's the other thing. It's like all the shit that's, you know, online. It's like, okay, we can hang out in this, watch this person stream, hang out in that chat, and that's always fun. But I mean, context is always, there's always a lot of context lacking, and that's one of the things. Like, and like you were just saying, you've reverted back to making it a point to try to disconnect and to not necessarily, I'm not going to put words in your mouth or, ideas, what have you, but I'm assuming, to reconnect with something, connect with the earth or connect, what have you, all the things you can benefit from.
But not in an annoying hippie way, just like.
Right, exactly.
Just like in a real way that we can.
Sure.
A little dirt on the fingers and stuff.
Exactly. And but we also have the benefit of reflecting back onto growing up without this shit because we didn't have. We're the weird ass.
Like the last generation that kind of got.
We are the last fucking generation. Whatever. We're last tail end of Gen X.
Yeah, we're like cuspers. Yeah. I like to call them Gen X cuspers. So we're the old millennial, but the cusp.
Exactly. Like too old to be a millennial. I cannot relate to the millennial, any of that. Honestly, it just feels wrong and weird. But like also, we did not have social media in high school. We had the internet, we had Prodigy and America Online, and we had message boards. Yes. And our 56K and our 28.8 modems. We had all that. And we had, but it's not like we had to make sure that we had I can't remember the name of the service providers back then, the ISPs. And then when cable modems came, when Roadrunner and Time Warner, I'll never forget, that was great. I had that like in 99, 2000. I remember getting that right away. Yeah, it was worth every penny. Remember that, like Napster?
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, Napster?
We're just saying, like, we're the last generation, literally.
Before the takeover.
Or the whole tech takeover. Like, we didn't have this shit in high school. We had Prodigy and AOL.
I had a pager.
I had a pager too.
I was gonna say pagers were like the coolest thing when I was a kid.
Yep.
911. It's like, that kid totally sells drugs. That's what we always thought.
Yeah.
And being in a touring band when I was 17, like my mom, that was a big deal. Like I was the only member of the band. Like I was the cell phone essentially. Like so I had the Primeco. I remember it was a Primeco phone or what have you. I think it was pre-Verizon, and it had, it was like a fat phone, whatever, and I'd like pass it around because this was like, we're all out now, so everybody call your parents or whatever you got to do. Because
1996?
98, I was 81 kid, yeah, so it was like 98, yeah, yep.
You remember Columbia House?
Columbia and BMG, how many times I robbed them blind?
First trap, our first swindle.
Yeah. That was the greatest. How many times we could swindle them into how many times we could get them to send us the duplicate copies and then take them to CD Disco Round or whatever your local CD.
You're like, no, these are the Columbia House ones.
Yeah, right. And they have like the mark shaved into them. You know what I mean? Into the plastic and like, nope, we don't want these. Let me have my Toadies record. Let me have my
311.
Faith No More.
Free Soundgarden.
Faith No More.
Yeah.
Jar of
Faith
Flies.
No More. Yep. Dude. Yeah. And thinking of how good. Remember the album of the year, Faith No More, that record with the dog barking? That was pushed in our faces so hard that I didn't want to listen to it. And now listening back, I'm like, God, that record's brilliant. Yeah. How stupid was I? Like, that's so much better than the. Like,
I love Angel Dust. That one's
Angel Dust is great, but
that's like that's when it really. We don't need to go in there, but that was a game changer
for me. I don't know about you, Jen. What's your Faith No More game changer? What record?
Never been a big Faith No More fan.
Really?
How dare you? I'm fucking leaving. This interview's over.
I had some faith, but I don't anymore.
It is.
Did you know that Cliff Burton and Jim Martin were best friends?
They're acquired tastes. I mean, they
are.
Not everything they do. I like more some other more like Phantomus. I would say is better than Faith No More.
I'd say Tomahawk is my favorite out of all.
Tomahawk's good too. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he has like 45,000 bands, so we can.
California is still my favorite Mr. Bungle record, so it always will.
Yeah.
But Jim's quiet now, so we won't talk about it.
I'm just listening. It's cool.
We need California. You need California. What's the name? It's the third song. What's that song? I know you know the name of it. What's the third track? Second or third track off of California? It's the most famous Mr. Bungle track.
Oh,
I know you know it.
Shit. I bet I can pull it up on my iTunes.
Well, say, why don't you? What's the limit here for the amount of time we can play a song? Is there a limit?
I think
You
it's
got like 4 seconds.
30 seconds or.
Even if
I
we
think
give
it's-
credit to them in
No, I don't think that's gonna help you.
Let's do like a radio show. Like, hey, now we have a little track from Mr.
Yeah.
Bundle.
yeah, right.
It's
Like luckily,
it's ding you first. You can complain later, and
so essentially, what did you hear? It was Booseephus? Was it 4 seconds?
Yeah, I just imagine it's like it has to be.
I thought
Like,
it'd be 8.
I
four,
think
4 to
8.
8.
I think
4
it's
to
like
8.
less than 30.
Now, if you
It's
like,
gotta be, yeah.
yeah, but if you like change the tone of it, like speed it up or something, it's probably you can get a little bit further into it.
Maybe I'll set up a new YouTube account and then upload some stuff and just see how many seconds it takes to get dinged.
There you go.
Don't get yourself some strikes.
Yeah, seems like a lot of work, but totally worth it.
Oh man, so I was gonna ask you, did you look at that article about this EMP thing that they're?
I just did.
What?
Actually, we should share this. Can we
Yeah.
share this in the
I mean, it's not even like a huge.
No,
like,
it's straight
big
White
deal.
House
What are you-
document.
what are you
It's
talking
straight up
about?
here. I'm giving it to you right now, Jim. We need to get this up on the screen so everybody in the.
Can you screen
see.
share one of you?
Yeah. Let me get
I'll
it
move
here.
my picture.
Here we go.
Good
It's
old
directly.
Homeland Security.
It's
Thanks,
directly
9/11.
from home. Yes, I'm going to. I'll screen share right now. Hopefully
Thanks,
this works. Here we
9/11.
go. Okay, guys. Yeah, this is direct from Department of Homeland Security. It is. Here we go, and we are sharing it now. Hopefully this is live.
Entire
Okay.
screen. All right.
Cool.
Let me move out of the way here. Is that?
That's okay. Oh, sorry.
Make it bigger. I'll get smaller.
There we go. Okay. Does someone want to read it? Should I read it? Who wants to read it?
You can just like even just go in the first like paragraph. You don't have to go any further. It's not like
All
really.
right. So we have this is from the Department of Homeland Security, straight from the White House, or the Pentagon, the masters. The headline is DHS combats potential electromagnetic pulse EMP attack. This is from September 3rd, 2020. It says the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, which is the DHS, continues to prepare against ever-evolving threats against the American homeland. Most recently highlighting efforts to combat an electromagnetic pulse attack which could disrupt the electrical grid and potentially damage electronics, which we've been talking about for how freaking long now. Today, the department is releasing the Electromagnetic Pulse Program Status Report as part of an update on efforts underway in support of Executive Order 13865 on coordinating national resilience to electromagnetic pulses. EO 13865 establishes resilience and security standards for U.S. critical infrastructure as a national priority. EMP weapons have the potential to disrupt unprotected critical infrastructure within the U.S. and could impact millions over large parts of the country, which we all are aware of, right? Everybody listening, I'm sure. Okay. It says since the president's signing of the executive order in March of 2019, Department of Homeland Security, through the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Agency, which is CISA, in coordination with the Science and Technology Directorate and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which is FEMA, has taken key actions to address known EMP-related vulnerabilities to critical infrastructure. They should have done this, and we all know
decades
so
ago.
long. Yeah, it's ridiculous. This
And they
is
could have.
really
They have the
late.
money.
Yeah, for some retrofitting, figuring this out. What retrofitting? That's not even right. Well, it might be. Who knows?
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
but
right.
continuing on, the EMP program status report highlights efforts taken across the public and private sector to foster increased resilience to EMP events through data analysis, vulnerability and risk assessments, testing, and pilot programs. And government, and government and industry engagement. The department is identifying critical infrastructure and associated functions that are at greatest risk from an EMP and developing and implementing best practices to reduce the risk. So essentially what this is an official report for the first time, right?
Yep.
That they're taking measures to combat an actual EMP.
Right.
Now, this is like, all right, that's on the screen for anybody to view. I'm going to take it off now if that's cool.
I feel like this is fair warning.
Yeah, It almost does. I was just about to say, it feels like, okay, guys, here's this. It's official. It's been stamped with the seal, right?
Yep.
You're all set. So now, yeah, it's essentially the not the consent. Like, here, we need your consent first. Well, technically, kind of is, but
They're also
I don't.
kind of.
Really, how do you put? What would you? Yeah.
Well, they were floating what I was seeing like on Twitter and whatnot, that they were like floating that this is going to be something from China doing, and they're kind of stroking that little war chest, just like
Yeah, right. They just
to get that China going.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, yeah, why wouldn't they want to do that? We obviously are at a war with them right now. It's not completely hot with bullets yet, but also they're just like, oh, this is going to happen around election time. And this kind of goes with like what Knowles has been saying lately about that he doesn't think there's going to be an election. And this would be kind of just like a perfect, like, oh yeah, you just kill all electricity right before election. Now it's just chaos and everyone's already like on edge. And people aren't really good about changes so quickly, but this whole thing, this whole pandemic, I don't want to get you.
No, dude, we're fine. I mean, you call it what? Yeah, dude. We all know what it is, and we know what it isn't. I should say. I'm sorry. What it isn't. Okay.
But it's obvious that to me, and this is just my opinion, not anyone else's, that they were Hail Marrying and trying to change completely everything of our systems and currency, and a lot of it appears to be somewhat Chinese related.
Yeah.
So I think there's just like a fractional Chinese element, and that I'm not trying to be like a boomer, like going to Chi-Coms.
No, dude, there's something. There's a lot there straight up.
And there could be other elements too, of course, but there's just like just add this to this year. It's like, of course, I'm like, and I really hope they don't do that. But you're right, they should have been taking care of our electricity or our grid a long time ago, and they could have, and they just didn't, and that's probably on purpose. And a lot of it's probably neglect too, because bureaucrats and everything, they don't do anything, they don't actually fix anything. With Flint and
it's
Baltimore,
every city,
anywhere,
Washington, every metropolis.
Yep. Yeah, they always get money too. They're like, oh, they're going to fix their infrastructure, and they never do.
Nope.
It's just, it's like we're in a boomer hellscape. So it's like,
it's true. It's true. It's like
they're passing the buck to us.
100%. Yeah, it's been totally passed, and I can think back. I can't remember the gentleman's name. It figures, but he's running this. I want to say it was just before Trump got elected, so it must have been 2016. I remember he's been on Coast to Coast a million times, talking about the only person that was taking this, like lobbying for it. I can't remember what the gentleman's name was, but he's been lobbying for this piece to come, at least for something like this to be acknowledged by the office of the president. You know what I mean? Like basically this DHS report essentially, and been, screw it. I'm going to actually look up this guy's name because he deserves credit because he's been talking about this for so long, and nobody's done shit about it. So I'm going to look it up real quick.
Yeah. No, the power industry is just real shifty, and they're a mob. I mean, they have complete, options when you get your power. They set the price and how you're going to get it. Like here in Nevada, I just found out because like the other night, out at like 12 o'clock at night, I just got a text message and a call. It's like, hey, by the way, don't turn on your power really for like 12 hours because we're having a surge in demand. And I come to find out the reason what it was, we were selling our power to California so but they sell for like triple the price.
Good Lord.
And it's actually Warren Buffett that owns that company, and it's just all just what they do. But
I don't want to cut you off, but I got the gentleman's name. It's history professor William Fortune. Forstchen, and he's been studying the dangers of VMPs for a long time.
Isn't it weird? His name's Fortune.
Yeah, it's totally, yeah.
I mean, come on.
Of course it is. Just like Dr. Andrew Kaufman. What a joke. That guy's a freaking joke, by the way. And that's me speaking. I think that guy's a tool, and he is a tool.
I think he might be an agent.
Yeah, probably.
Regardless, his
Something.
name's Andy Kaufman. That should give everything you need to know is right there, in my opinion. He's
Remember
it's,
that?
that's
Remember that
the board-
comedian
That's
Kaufman?
that's what I mean.
What was his name?
That's what I'm talking about. That should say it.
Andy Kaufman,
That's the
right?
board. Yeah, that's the board in the face.
Are
And
you
it's
doing an
Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman bit right now?
Yeah, right.
I remember that.
That's
guy?
literally the board in the face. Shout out to James True for that one. That's Sensei hitting you in the face with a board, trying to tell you, yo,
Right.
there's friggin' in the riggin', period.
Yeah,
And that dude, and he's on. All of a sudden, he's David Icke, we get it. And then all of a sudden, he's on London Real, and then my homie Billy Ray Valentine cuts him a new one on his show, and dude, brilliant. That's some of the best.
So when do we get our? Do we know anyone that can give us Tesla coils? I mean, can we get ahead of this? Can we get our
Seriously.
own power sources? I mean, what the fuck are we supposed to
I
do?
mean, William Fortune's been. I'm looking at his page on Coast to Coast AM. We're talking December 2013, warning us. I remember this dude has been warning, and saying, y'all pay attention. This is something you need to look into. For 20 plus years, he's been working the circuit, the conspiracy paranormal circuit.
Yeah, no, it's a real concern, and it's very concerning that they're just throwing this at us right now. It's like, oh, okay. I guess that's what they're going to be doing around election time.
Exactly.
But God, people just have food that's doesn't perish. That's all I'm going to say. Just
yeah,
just
and also
prepare.
that's another thing. Before we fully sign off here tonight and everything, guys. I know it's been parroted, and I'm gonna I'll start parroting it now because I have never really parroted it. But this food shortage shit, don't be surprised because people have been warning about the food shortage, and it hasn't necessarily punched any of us directly in the face. I'm sure it did back in March a little bit with toilet paper and other things seeing nothing on the shelves. Yeah, that's spooky. But for real, what a lot of these quote unquote experts, people that I legit would pay attention, I'd heed their warnings, are saying you have no idea what's coming. You have no idea the food shortage that's coming is going to be insane. And
learn to make rice into toilet paper.
There we
That's all
go.
I can say.
And Tesla coils.
And
Learn
Tesla
how to do
coils.
this.
Make bread in your crock pot. You gotta survive.
Can you? Can you make bread in a crock pot? I'm sure you could, right?
I can't, but people can.
So if you,
But you have that cookbook you're selling, right?
yeah, it's like, here's my cookbook, and it'll tell you all how you can do it.
With some here's
Yeah.
some CBD. Rub some CBD in it. Dump that in. Just dump it in.
Surviving the Apocalypse cookbook. Or something like that.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get on this. We need to find some investors, fellas.
No joke.
Yeah.
The food shortages are definitely looking possible more than likely. So people should start thinking about winter crops and things like that. There's ways we can get around it.
Everybody's got green lawns in their yards pretty much in America, and it doesn't feed you, it doesn't keep you warm, it just gives you something you have to mow every week. I had an old neighbor who was a landlord. He was from Mexico, and I didn't mow my lawn very much, and so I had all kinds of crazy weeds growing up in my lawn. And he would come over and he'd be like, "Oh, that's mint, and that's natural lettuce. There's all kinds of there's a whole salad of stuff that grows in your yard wild." And
No, I have neighbors that just have fruit trees and grapes just growing. They just let it go and just raw. It's like,
oh yeah,
you're probably gonna not want that. You're probably gonna want to can that right now. It's just fuck, But that's the thing. Is the scarcity is kind of a false
absolutely
thing, right? I mean, we can get past that. We just need to have more, take more stock and skin of the game because we've kind of grown soft. So,
well, scarcity is the magic bullet that makes our consumer culture work. Because you're not going to pay more for something unless it's unique and scarce.
Mm-hmm.
So,
True. At least with food, we can get around that. I mean, I mean, I don't know how to slaughter an animal, but I was thinking about it recently. I'm like, can I do that? Can I slaughter a pig?
Yeah, I've
You
done
know,
it.
Yeah, how
these-
comfortable are you with guts and entrails?
Right.
And I'm not personally.
I don't think I'm that comfortable yet. But like, I guess
it's-
if we were starving, people do eat people sometimes when they're hungry. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
If we were forced to, yeah, we
I did
definitely.
animals a lot.
it's in the
you know.
DNA somewhere,
Yeah,
deep and dark.
For sure.
But yeah,
it does. It
Well-
does feel pretty good though to harvest your own food. You know, slaughter something and prep the meat. I've done chickens.
Yeah.
A few times.
So it seems like what they want to have us do, which obviously they've been floating this for years, is they want us eating bugs and like weird plant-based, like cancer foods.
Yeah, you
meats,
see how much
Snowpiercer.
estrogen is in that? Did you see that report?
Beyond
believe-
Meat.
Yeah, and what Catherine Austin Fitz was like the first
Estrogen
one.
and what?
Props to Catherine Austin Fitz for
Yeah.
dropping that right away, saying that there was literally like 150 million times the normal amount of estrogen in the Burger King Impossible Whopper or what have you. Yeah, it was from
of
like
soy?
Rancher Times to like whatever the New York Rancher Times, whatever the main paper is that they read. That's where it was straight from. So
Yeah,
it's legit.
You know, there's
Yeah, we got
phytoestrogens in like clothes, like modern. A lot of modern fabrics have so many like synthetic materials with plastics and synthetic estrogen sort of compounds that you can even get it by just wearing clothes.
that's on purpose, right? They did that.
That
to
makes
all-
has
sense.
to be.
Yeah.
They this is like engineering, right? They want us all like soy boy femmies.
Right.
No
Or
offense.
well, yeah, I mean that's where that's the Alex Jones, yeah, like turning frogs gay.
Have you seen the Children of
man.
Men, the movie Children of Men, where
Yeah, yep.
there's
I know
some
what you're
sort of
talking about.
apocalypse
Children of
sort
Men.
of thing
Children
where
of Man.
yeah, nobody's had
Yeah.
a baby for like 25 years or something.
It's straight Brave New World. It's straight up like Huxley. That's like
It's what
the
we're moving
Huxley
towards.
wet dream. It's like a Huxley wet nightmare.
it's
It's horrible. It's awful. Like yeah, well, we just shocked. They flip the switch, and all these little babies, when they touch the roses, they just get shocked to death. It's like what, dude? That book. I don't know about you guys, man, but I tried reading it again, like literally last year.
which book?
I don't want to say Brave New World
Oh.
in like March of 2019. I had to stop and I could not, like, it was so gross feeling. Do you know what I mean? Like I can't believe I read through this twice before, but now I feel like now that I'm not going to say the word. I refuse to. Now that I'm fully conscious and here, I can kind of take. It was so disturbing and just I needed a shower after every 3 pages or so. It's just so disgusting.
Yeah.
It's
Need more positivity.
seriously.
These things
And-
are like, yeah.
And but also like hey lords, like how people they lump Huxley in with Orwell and they give Huxley praise just because of the stupid Doors of Perception nonsense. Well, just because Jim Morrison said I'm gonna name my band that, he gets like positive reinforcement.
Which
Aldous
is
Huxley.
Rush Limbaugh. We know this.
Right.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
it's all boomer conspiracy, man.
straight up, dude. They took over LQ, and that's Bannon. I mean, the one person, and I shot him out last time. I swear to God, I'm never shouting him out. No, James True's right about it. The Bannon running, in my opinion, like almost being behind the whole Q thing, because it makes sense. Breitbart was like the first news technical, a news company, if you want to even call them that, whatever, to report on it, and all of this stuff originates from Breitbart-esque, alt-right kind of levels. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they're putting it out. It's just disgusting. Yeah, it's straight up WWF stuff.
Yeah,
And
there's I think there's some of that elements of it, but also there was crap, I can't remember his name. He co-wrote Mind War with Aquino.
I've got
whatever.
I've got all the books right here. Literally.
Like he was a general too, and he's like a right
Are we
wing.
oh wait, I know. I think I know. John Alexander. Alexander
No.
didn't co-write any of those.
No,
books.
he was part of in the Pentagon where they were spinning it to the to the brass. I'm trying to remember his name.
Do
gonna
you want me
look
to
it
grab
up.
the book? Because I have it right here.
Yeah,
I
you
have
can look and see if it's
it's in there. I'm checking.
like it wasn't the book Mind War. It was like it was the Pentagon Papers, I believe. Let's see. There's this guy, but it's not him. Oh, Paul E. Valley. It's this guy. Do you want me to send you the link to him?
Sure.
All right.
I just got back. Okay, so I've got Mind War in front of me. Aquino. And by the way, rest in peace, Michael Aquino. I'd never had an issue with this dude. I know there's a lot of craziness, but he's never.
Is he dead? I don't know. There's a little suspicious.
I'll shout out to Michael Deacon. I know he's probably live right now, but that's my homeboy, and he always is treated. Michael Aquino's always treated him with a lot of respect and been a really nice guy to him. He's not
gonna be. I'm just saying.
No, I know.
Master of psyops. So why wouldn't he just fake his own death if he needed to? Just saying.
No, yeah.
Just saying.
He's up there though. Yeah,
So
we gotta leave it open-ended.
I sent you a link to that. This is the guy who also might be involved with the Q operation.
Oh, Valelli. Okay.
Valelli, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's also so then there's this, plus there's I think there's like DeFango. That guy's named DeFango online. Who's really familiar with this? You know Lee Veltman?
I know the DeFango guy, but
you've heard. Okay, so you know John Brisson. We've read the documents. You've heard of him, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Lee Veltman and he have been doing tons of research work together, and what was it? I'm trying to think. Blah blah blah. The point is these dudes know who. Besides DeFango, I think one of the other I don't know their names because I don't follow all the different internet or the handles. I don't know all these handles.
Yeah.
Everyone's got different handles.
Why should you? I mean, they're probably losers anyways.
But I can't pay them. Yeah.
Oh shit, they're gonna fucking dox me, aren't they? Like, how you fucking asshole.
Right. No, I mean it just feels.
Kidding.
It feels weird. Like it feels like he could definitely be paying. I could see Bannon setting up shop, doing this for a little bit with a couple of his, henchmen, and then being like, okay, this is too much, and branching it off and basically being like, okay, you guys handle it, and sending out a check for, a half a year's pay, and be like, all right, go set up in the middle of a forest in a state park and just get it done from here remotely, so nobody can find you.
I think the claim that they are military intelligence is true. Yeah. I don't see why they wouldn't be, and they would have the means. Doesn't necessarily mean they're like the white hats like they're claiming.
I don't believe there is anything. I don't believe there's a such thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I mean, everyone has motives, especially when it comes to the military. I mean, they're not exactly just. They haven't been. I mean,
they can't be. They can't be straight up. They can't. It's impossible.
Well, the element with it is very much because this is the thing, and this goes back to kind of like we were talking before about celebrities and how well and they've conditioned us to believe certain narratives, or just even how, for instance, and this is no slight against the guy who just died from cancer, who was the Black Panther, but everyone confused this actor who's been in 3 movies that he actually was Black Panther. It's I'm like, that's an actor. So
Chadwick Boseman. He's a great actor. He's a really good actor.
I'm sure he is, but I'm just saying, people do this with actors where they confuse the person with they're like a demigod. They're they're actually that person. They're that nice, and they're heroes. It's no, they just pretend. It's you don't know who that guy is. This is no slight against that one. I'm just saying anyone in particular, exception of John Wick, Keanu Reeves. Obviously, he's the real deal. So he's an anomaly. Right. He is the one.
Yeah, there's something that,
Yeah, but it's just this thing where people have been so programmed well, and this includes myself. I mean, I've been there. I mean, you just grow up with this stuff and you assume all these things are real, and they can build these narratives in your head, and then like you just kind of go, because you've seen these movies and these stories play out in your brain, and they've been set up to you, so you're like, oh yeah, so they're gonna get the cabal and deep state, and it's gonna be like some like shootouts and some hacking where like the things go across the screen, and it's like like all these cool things, and that's playing out in people's heads, and that's not really like how it goes like at all.
Right. They'll expect some movie, like some Hollywood ending, Hollywood, action. This is how things go down.
Exactly.
And, no,
people
it's not cut and dry.
Yeah, people constantly are like, no, of course I don't think that, but they do. Like it's like an unconscious level because they've been conditioned and programmed over and over and over again. It doesn't even, they don't even register it. This includes myself.
We're all
subject to it
completely. And that's a really, really, that's a good way to put it.
I don't know what my point was. It's just that, like, we gotta be more careful and have discernment. And sometimes it's hard. I fail a lot. I'm actually like right now, like thinking that possibly we're in a crater on the moon. And that's I was like,
dude,
that's what I've been on lately. I'm like, that's probably correct, but who knows, man?
For real. I've been going into the Ingo Swann stuff, like from last week that we talked about, like all that. There's so much weird. There's so many different angles you can take and different turns.
It's fluid, and
right, exactly, yeah, and maintain. I don't know. It's fascinating. It's crazy.
What's that word that Philip K. Dick used to say? I'm trying to remember it. It's a really good way of putting it. I think it's Latin.
Shit.
Crap. I can't remember something about like gentia, something.
I wonder what it. We'd have to look it up.
Yeah, it's something about consensus reality, like consensus agentia or something.
Oh,
I've heard that.
You know what I'm talking? Yeah, I said it like at that sci-fi thing he did in France, where he was talking about his experiences with kind of like the Valis stuff. Just experiencing like reality, kind of like.
It's a possibility that it's a consensus reality. I mean, that would explain Mandela effect, perhaps.
Yes, and the Mandula effect, as I like. I've been into the Mandela effect.
Nelson Mandela.
There's so many.
Oh man,
a good bit.
I think it. Wait, where was it? Trying to find the consensus gentium. Yeah,
consensus gentium. That was it.
Yes.
Yeah. There's, we're all subject to that. Obviously, with the mask thing right now, it's like, Jesus, you can give people like raw data. Like, I don't care. I'm going to put on the mask.
I know it has, and I get it. I understand that. It's like a matter of like we were talking about before. I'm not dying on that hill. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is not like why I'm out here is not, oh, don't wear the mask. Don't wear the mask.
No. It's perfectly crafted in a Aquino way.
Yeah, exactly.
To like make it this another divisive thing.
To weaponize everything you possibly can. Yes, it's yeah. But I mean, at the same time, it's like, okay, if you know anything, if you know your chakras, and if you've done your, your energy, if you have any background in energy work and understand how that, if you have any background in any of that stuff, what this stuff. Like wearing a mask implies, as well as there's the occult symbol. There's too many things. It symbolizes and it encompasses so many different. It's grotesque.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
So much, and then you get the simple. You get like a simpleton kind of thing from a lot of people being like, "Yep, well, it's not good for you." Or you don't want to be you're breathing in your own carbon dioxide. It's like, okay, that's
first level, man. What's wrong?
Yeah, that's like what? Like that's not. Don't bring that. That's weak shit. Don't bring that.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah, I mean,
it's-
that's not a hill. Anybody like if you want to
No.
go ahead and sacrifice yourself on that hill. Have fun.
As Bane said, we are initiated.
Exactly.
We are initiated.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It's we're being initiated into the brave new world of stupid whatever. I don't know. I just want to have a Tesla coil and grow my food, have guns, and we all just chill and be happy. We don't have to. It's simple, man.
Yeah, we could have it like some cool whatever communitarianism kind of thing. It doesn't have to be the definition of like with some famous communist attached to it.
No, you just keep these things like decentralized and small. And you
That's
don't
what I
make-
mean.
You don't
It's
make
not
sure
an issue then.
No one's
it could be a cult. Fine.
Yeah, don't put
Call
somebody's
it that.
name on a movement.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like Marx's like okay,
Right.
Leninist. No, I'm saying
and no one fucks everyone's wife. That should
Right.
be like the ground rule.
yeah,
know?
exactly.
Like if they're like fucking a couple people's wives and that's like okay with them, fine. But if they're fucking everyone's wife, they're out. just saying.
Exactly. Freaking pigs.
Yeah, and no eating poop. Poop is not food.
It's like that's right where we're leaving this one. No shit. How long have we written on for? How long, guys? 2 hours.
I got
I've
something
been on with you for 2.
about earlier. We were talking about that guy Jacob Blake, I think is his name.
Oh yeah. Is that his name, guys? I'm terrible. Yeah.
I often look into the meaning of names just to, because like any of these like big situations, there's always some name that comes out, people involved, and they have the meaning of their name is always like weirdly, like Kaufman, weirdly related to the topic of situation.
Right.
Like
Right.
Anthony Weiner, So
Yeah. Totally.
the name
You have a new
Jacob,
wiener too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and did you say the other Wiener?
The other wiener. I blasted him on Twitter. I think it got me like dinged.
Really?
Was he the guy from
Who was this
California?
Yeah, the California guy Les.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
It's like, hey, this guy. There's another guy named Wiener that wants to suck your kid's dick.
Yeah.
Like you
he wants
homophobes.
to make it
Yeah.
legal to. So it's
10-year
not rape
yeah.
if you're 10 years older
Yeah.
than
10 years. I did hear that. Okay, I know what you're talking.
So what is that?
It's a bit. He doesn't know how to read a climate. That's for sure.
Oh.
He's like, you're really gonna do that now,
Yeah.
dude?
So
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Jacob, it comes from the biblical story of Jacob and Esau, where he came out holding the heel of his twin brother Esau. So it means to follow, to be behind, but also it means to supplant, circumvent, assail, or overreach. Or from the word heel. So to supplant, circumvent, assail, and overreach.
There you go.
And Blake, Blake is a surname or given name which originated from Old English. It's uncertain. Where it came from is uncertain. But they think it came from black. Blake came from black, which is a nickname for someone who had dark hair or skin, or from black, a nickname for someone with pale hair or skin. And Old English, these guys were not dark-skinned at all. They were very pale-skinned. So it's an assailant or supplanter who's a white black.
Masons again. See.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not slighting Masons. It's kind of. I mean, how many times do you need this to
The black
come
and
out?
white. The black and white.
Black and
color?
white narrative.
Really.
Yeah.
Seriously, man.
It appears to be like a code, something that like it's like binary to go beep boop boop in our brains, and we go fuck,
Yeah.
let's kill. I mean, not to speak ill to the fallen and slain, because I mean, I don't get me wrong, guys. I don't really like cops. I've been to jail twice, and I've had humiliation.
We had this
things
talk
done to
last
me.
week. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it's not. I'm not gonna be like, yeah.
Not fun.
No,
but,
not excusing any of the nonsense. Yeah, no,
No.
totally.
I think we should go old western. We should all just be armed.
I'm kind of I mean that
Yeah.
seems to make
It could get messy, but what else are we gonna do?
Every able-bodied
Exactly.
man is a sheriff's deputy.
Exactly. We're all sheriffs,
Yeah.
and we all that's dope. Because what they want to do is obviously just have like drones and other weird shit. This is I feel like that's like kind of the back end of it. It's just like problem, action, solution, and the solution is just to get rid of the police and then have it like a complete surveillance state, Phil K. Dick world kind of like, that kind of like software where they want to just run and see if you're a criminal before you're a criminal, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's a whole new. I mean, that's what I mean, obviously I can't know, but that's what it feels like.
It does.
But
And they're gonna silence us somehow.
yes, yep. They're probably outside right now, dude.
Yeah. I think so.
Guy in a trench coat, just like staring right behind you, Jim. Just and then, he's masturbating. Oh my god! I mean, this is all it comes down to. They just want more masturbation material. I mean,
What else are
Just
you
we're
gonna do? Order stuff from
Yeah.
Amazon and
yeah, this one is all kind of like in our own little boxes. It's like Black Mirror, right? That one episode where everyone's like in a little cube and they work like as doing video games. I don't remember the episode, but yeah, because there's no strength in numbers, or there's strength in numbers, so they don't want numbers or connection. Yeah, but we should end this on a positive note.
Yeah.
That's not going to be the case. I think.
definitely should
I think
end
they're
on a
over.
positive.
They're overreaching.
will.
I think they're overreaching. It's not gonna. They're gonna shoot for the moon if there even is a moon, or if we're on the moon. I don't know right now. It changes every week for me. But
thank you.
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree with
How are
you.
we gonna sit and claim? I don't know, and I'm not gonna sit and claim that I do.
yeah, no, that we can't know.
All of our dark views of the future comes from the trash they've been feeding us anyway.
Same stupid. We go back to it. This like running joke / narrative / conspiracy that all of this is it's all real. It's all happening, and believe it.
Right.
And that's it. And put everything. Put all your eggs into that basket too, boy. Because if you don't, you know what I mean. Like, if you don't,
Well, like
finger wag.
what about the Amish? Do you think they have conspiracies in their own communities? Like, is it like just beyond like they're like, well, Jebediah over there does steal a little extra butter.
They got all kinds. They got all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff running off.
Imagine what they say about us.
Exactly. Are we their conspiracy? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe this is actually they're doing this whole thing is them, the Amish are Illuminati, and they're just kind of waiting to destroy our society so we become Amish. I don't know. That's kind of out there.
Oh, dude, just think about that for a second. Like from like an EMP standpoint,
Oh shit! Yeah.
they rise, dude. They rise to literally like A++ number 111 status the second we get hit with an EMP, right? Because we're gonna be like, shit, what? Who are you call?
Yeah.
Wait, oh, Jedediah's down the road with the blah blah blah, and they've been doing this for the last 500 years.
Yep.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah, dude.
they're number one, dude. They just shot up the food chain so fast, dude.
Yeah, we'll owe them big. You know, we'll be on their fields working.
Yeah.
Right.
The
I
apex
know
plowsman.
That's a good note to sign off on. Let's get to work in these Amish fields, guys.
Yep.
Until next week.
Yeah. You raise my barn, I'll raise yours.
That's beautiful. It really is.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's call it. We're at like 3 hours here, guys. That was fun. Thank you, Booseephus, for hanging out.
I had a lot of fun, guys. Thank you
Dude.
for having me on.
Yeah.
No, thanks for hanging out. And let's
You're definitely
keep you
welcome
regular.
back here.
Yeah,
Heck
for real.
dude. Yeah.
Bring whatever to the table. We'll bring all this stuff to the table. We'll chat throughout the week. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Cocks out, blocks out, something like that.
No, all day, all night.
That's right.
Coronavirus!
Oh, now you're dinged, dude.
Hey, you got a spectacular
Oh,
vernacular.
fuck. Demonetized.
Sell it.
Yeah,
All
well,
right,
thank
gentlemen.
you. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, buddy. And
You guys-
where can we find you? Where can everybody find you?
You can find me mostly on Twitter, acting like an insane person. I have my moments where I'm pretty. I shoot from the hip, constantly Twitter.
Questions
So-
later.
Yeah. So it's at Booseephus at Twitter, and I am on Instagram, but not really that active because people won't get me there. But
Hear you.
mostly, yeah, I'm mostly there. I am working on because I did have a podcast, but I'm working kind of on something to do more video. So maybe I'll even have you guys join me on that too if I get that going. I've had a lot of problems lately, but
That
you
would
know,
be great.
just yeah. So that's I think we need to try to put some more positivity in the world. And it's
For
not,
sure.
Agreed.
reality is kind of as much as we put into it, and the narratives are just kind of spun for us, like you were saying, that they'll just give us those dystopian horror shows, and we don't have to take that. We can
No.
something else.
And this is the other thing is like this spot is like the spot for like I want to make it like a decompression zone. Like we got Charlie Robinson coming up. We got a bunch of like a ton of people trying to that have the same kind of outlook, just disgusted, but can find comedy and can find these little whatever goofy little things to point, stare, make light, make fun of, and move on. And just kind of just stay on the same page here, not buying anything not investing too much into anything right now.
Except gold. Come on, guys. Let's get in that gold. I got gold. You guys want to throw some cash?
Guns of gold.
Some
You got
gold.
gold? Nice.
Can we make commercial breaks that aren't real commercials, and we can just play it every 40 seconds?
There you go. Dude. And I need to pump and dump my crypto. So let's go. Basic attention token. Bats. Let's get your bats. We need to create them Black Lives Matter tokens. The BLM, the blams. Hey, I need them
Blam,
blams.
blam, blam.
Blam coins and black
Blah, 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 blah.
money
Dude.
machine go brr. Well, my blam machine.
I will do that song if we actually do that.
Amazing.
I would love that.
About the Black Lives Matter cryptocurrency, it's token, the whole this is copyright all things weaving spiders. Fuck all, you can't take this. Black Lives
Guaranteed
Matter,
not to burn down your house.
right?
Okay.
Lamb, Black Lives are most, or Black Lives Matter most, something like that. Yeah, we got
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
this.
dude, it's happening.
That crypto up.
I mean, that's what the Federal Reserve does. They just make currency. Why
What
don't
I'm
we?
saying. Fiat's dying, Joe. We got to get on the blam train and on the bat train and on the. Just everybody buy bat and use the Brave browser. The basic attention tokens. Get them tokens, baby. Oh man, Web Internet 3.0. Here we come. All right, y'all. We're out of here. That's a wrap.
Peace out.
That's a wrap.
Stay on it.
Thank you
Kill
all.
it. Kill it, Jim. Kill it. Put a knife in it. Kill it.
Da 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 da.
Kill it. Did you kill it?
Da da da. Until next week, you guys.
All right. Did you kill it?
No.
Don't
Don't kill the Skype scream.